News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Trump says the war in Iran and the future of the Strait of Hormuz came up during his 2-hour meeting today with China's President Xi. He tells Fox News.
He said, I would love to be a help. If I could be of any help whatsoever, he'd like to see the Hormuz Strait open. He said, if I could be of any help whatsoever, I would like to help.
CBS's Weijia Jiang reports Iran is an ally of China and relies on its oil.
There is no formal announcement about China, for example, purchasing less Iranian oil, because right now it is its biggest customer. And there were some talks about whether Trump would explicitly make that ask. So we don't have the details yet.
A top Defense Department official has told Congress the threat from Iran in the Strait may be easing. CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper.
Their capability have been significantly degraded. If I just use my own professional experience, in 100 transits through the Strait of Hormuz, you would typically see 20 to 40 fast boats, and lately we've seen 2 or 3.
China says President Xi warned Trump today Taiwan could become a point of conflict between the two nations if not handled properly. After a strong showing in March, the government says retail sales last month stalled. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
What we are seeing is just the beginning parts of consumers pulling back in some areas to be able to afford higher energy prices. What are those areas? Furniture stores, department stores.
CBS's Jim Krasula tells us about a court ruling years after a deadly jetliner crash.
A federal court jury in Chicago has awarded $49.5 million in damages to the family of a 24-year-old woman who was killed in the crash of a Boeing 737 MAX plane. 157 lives were lost in the March 2019 crash of an Ethiopian Airlines jet. Nearly all of the numerous civil lawsuits against the Chicago-based company had been settled out of court.
Well, there's word federal agents have arrested a tourist who allegedly threw a large rock at a seal in Hawaii.
Witnesses recorded Igor Litvinchuk following the endangered Hawaiian monk seal along the shoreline of a beach in Lahaina, then tossing a huge rock at it, barely missing its head.
What are you doing?
Special agents from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration arrested Litvinchuk near Seattle Wednesday and charged him with violating the Endangered Species Act and the Marine Mammal Protection Act. If convicted, he faces up to 2 years in prison and $70,000 in fines. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The Dow is up 470. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
There's been a major break in the UW stabbing case. Police say they've arrested a suspect. But first, let's get a check on the roads. There's a crash on I-5 southbound in Lacey. This is right as you pass Marvin Road by the Cabela's. Better way to Seattle is about an hour right now. 40 of those minutes are from South Center. Renton to Bellevue, 40 minutes. Puyallup to Renton, about 45 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Seattle police confirmed the suspect turned himself in last night. Here's Detective Eric Munoz.
At about 10:27 p.m., surrendered himself to Bellevue Police Department. Bellevue Police Department transferred physical custody to the Seattle Police Department, and Mr. Lee was then booked into King County Jail for investigation of murder.
We have the suspect's name, but we're holding that until he's charged. He could make his first court appearance by today or tomorrow. Then he'll be arraigned and formally charged. The 19-year-old transgender victim was stabbed to death inside a laundry room at the Nordheim Court Apartments just north of U Village. A Covington man is facing federal charges for throwing a rock at an endangered Hawaiian monk seal in Maui. A witness recorded the now viral video.
What are you doing? Why would you throw a rock at it? Hello?
NOAA special agents arrested him near Seattle yesterday. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Honolulu says the 38-year-old is charged with harassing a protected animal and is set to appear in a U.S. District Court in Seattle today. If convicted, he faces up to 1 year in prison for each charge. He also faces fines up to $70,000. A not guilty plea from the man accused of raping a 15-year-old at a Northgate bus stop. 38-year-old Josiah Kawasaki faces kidnapping and rape charges. Our news partner, KIRO 7 TV, was in the courtroom when Julia Roman, a victim advocate, provided a statement from the girl's family.
Up until this traumatic incident, she's been independent and has not been afraid to be in public places alone. She is now forever scarred by this, and her family's life will never be the same.
His bail has been set at $1 million. Wildlife officials are trying to determine what killed a gray whale that washed ashore the northern end of Whidbey Island. The whale was found near Sunset Beach. The Island County Sheriff's Office posted about the dead whale just yesterday afternoon. According to Cascadia Research Collective, 19 dead gray whales have been found along our coastlines so far this year. A majority of those whales were found to be malnourished. And for your KIRO News Radio weather report, no sunshine again today. Mostly cloudy. Highs will be in the low 60s. Right now, it's about 53 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday. We're one day away from Friday, and I see the sun out there peeking. Oh, what a day it's going to be. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. It is going to be an action-packed Thursday. Coming up at 9:30, students in this country are performing worse in school compared to 10 years ago. And is tech to blame? We're going to talk about that coming up. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is open for you, 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Just in case, Ursula, some people leave at 9 o'clock hour, they need to come back at 11:30. Because at 11:30 today, the chief of Seattle Police Department, Chief Sean Barnes, will be on the show. But right now, let's get to it. Top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
And one of the things that we're going to be talking to the chief about is that breaking news this morning that the suspect in the stabbing death of a 19-year-old University of Washington student is now behind bars after he turned himself in. And KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has been tracking this, and he joins us live.
Yeah, let's go right to... I just talked with, not too long ago, Detective Eric Munoz with the Seattle Police Department. Here's what he said about it.
Last night, on May 13th, at about 10:27 p.m., surrendered himself to Bellevue Police Department. Bellevue Police Department transferred physical custody to the Seattle Police Department, and Mr. was then booked into King County Jail for investigation of murder.
You heard the bleep because we have the suspect's name, but we're not going to name him per policy of our station until he's charged. He will make his first court appearance either today or tomorrow for a bail hearing, and then that arraignment where he's charged will come later in the week. That 19-year-old victim, you'll remember, was stabbed to death inside a laundry room at the Nordheim Court Apartments just north of View Village earlier this week. Well, this morning we also uncovered details about another incident possibly involving the same suspect. I have been showing on our YouTube feed, and I've got it on my social media channel right now, some photos that I obtained from some students at UW from inside a dorm last week. A student says that the man in the photos gained access to the dorm, was following a female around campus, and then got into the dorm somehow before people realized he doesn't belong here. An RA then confronted that person and kicked that man out, said, "You've got to leave the dorm." He left. But the message with the photos that was being sent among a friend group and other students around campus came with this warning. This is a quote. "Please be careful. He was following one of my friends around a week before the girl died." If you look at the photos, I mean, it looks exactly to not just the face but the physical description of the clothing he was wearing as well as the photos that Seattle Police released of the UW suspect earlier this week. Just
the photos are extremely clear, and it is scary if you're saying that the photos were already circulating a while back because he was acting suspiciously in other areas. Essentially, it sounds like stalking women. What was it reported to police, and did police respond?
Different photos. So photos that were sent out by police were the ones that were very clear. These others are different, and they were obviously from surveillance cameras inside the dorm. So were they aware? Great question. And here's what Munoz kind of mentioned about that. No answer directly, but listen to this.
I know our detectives have worked with UW PD getting that information. They are aware of those previous incidents. Obviously, we could never predict that if that is in fact the same person that was seen on campus, you could never predict that he would commit such an egregious crime.
But he did say, you heard him, that they were previous reports and they had collected those.
So obviously I could hear it in that tone as well, in the energy there, that there were potentially previous reports. Previous reports is one thing. How about any type of notice and or communication to people and around campus, on campus, and all that stuff?
Yeah, so that's where things become tricky, and I think Munoz kind of, hindsight is always 20/20, right?
Sure.
But how would we know, know if this is the same person that it would lead to this? I will say, though, the night of the murder, the first calls came in. I believe it was around 10-something at night. I should know the exact time. But the point is, it was about a half an hour or 20 minutes later that UW put out an alert to all students across campus. There's been a homicide in this laundry room at a UW apartment. Stay away from the area, alerting students.
I am going to guess that they will be looking over all practices and protocols in terms of how they responded, UW police, SPD, and the school itself, and whoever's in charge of security, because it sounds like there were a lot of students who were saying security here has been lax at best. There were complaints about that as well. I heard some people in some interviews, so I'm sure that is going to be looked into. I certainly hope so. And again, the Seattle Police Chief, Sean Barnes, is going to be joining us. Luke, I have one last just brief question, because early on, and you'd mentioned it too, early on it was mentioned that this victim is a trans student. Is there any indication that had that anything to do with a potential motive?
No, not yet. And let me just qualify that with, this was breaking news, and we were running around trying to get what we could from Seattle Police, so we didn't have time to ask all the questions. However, to your point, Seattle Police stressed that they didn't just say this was a female student. They said this is a 19-year-old transgender female student. We will find out in charging documents if that had anything to do with motive in this case.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Luke.
Thank you.
Okay, well, Gee, just hours after police announced that arrest in the murder of that trans student, a controversial event that was scheduled for that very same day at the university was suddenly postponed. Turning Point USA had planned to host Chloe Cole on Wednesday night. She is an activist who transitioned as a teen, later detransitioned, and now speaks out against gender-affirming care for minors. She has become a major figure in the national debate over transgender medical treatment. Also sued Kaiser Permanente over the care that she received as a minor. But after there was growing backlash, there were planned protests, and also organizers described alleged violent threats. The National Turning Point organization pulled the plug on the event, and UW says school officials had also raised concerns about the timing of all this following the murder of a member of the LGBTQ community. My question would be, maybe obvious, was that the right response?
Yeah, they're postponing, but they're not canceling their continued cruelty. They're not doing that. Because when they get a chance, when you do podcast after podcast, speech after speech, when you do rallies after rallies, and your message all the time is to punch down on the trans community. The reason why you're postponing is because of what just happened. And it probably wouldn't be a good look. I mean, it shouldn't be a good look anyways, that you travel the country with this message to punch down. So oftentimes we hear we need to tone down the rhetoric. Tone down the rhetoric. But consistently, we see the same group of folks go around with their message. And I just want to just say this. If you're listening right now and you don't agree with the way the trans community lives, I have a very simple message for you. You don't have to be trans. You can allow them to live in peace. Them living in peace, it's not a zero-sum game. Them living in peace will not impact your peace. But sure, I'm glad they postponed it, but they did not cancel. Cruelty continues.
Imagine, Gee, working at a hospital system that helps deliver babies every single day, but when you are pregnant and you ask for maybe a place to, after giving birth, pump breast milk, or even get a chance to sit down during long shifts, you are denied. So that is allegedly what is happening at Providence Health. The state attorney general is now suing Providence, accusing the healthcare giant of repeatedly failing to accommodate pregnant or nursing workers, and in some cases allegedly retaliating against employees who would speak up about this. So according to this lawsuit, nurses and other workers say they were denied things like breaks or schedule flexibility for prenatal appointments, even though Washington law requires many of those accommodations. The suit also alleges that some employees were forced into taking leave or given more difficult duties or even fired after requesting accommodations. Providence, for its part, says it takes the allegations seriously. It also says it tried to work collaboratively with the state before this lawsuit was filed.
Yeah. I read this, Ursula, and I saw that they've made $10 billion in 2025. And, you know, here is Providence is the biggest here in the state. And I'm assuming that one of the things that makes them great, and I'm not saying that they aren't, is how well that they take care of their patients, how well they take care of moms that come in and breastfeeds and make sure that they're okay and make sure they have a chair and a rocking chair and all that stuff. It's just kind of weird that you do all of that, but you don't take care of the people that take care of them. You know what I'm saying? Like think about that. The people that care for them, there's no care for them.
And sadly, that happens way too often. And my question is, if one of the biggest healthcare systems in Washington allegedly can't support their pregnant workers or their new moms, what does that say about everyone else? Let this be a warning. There are laws that say you need to accommodate this. And I would encourage anyone who is of childbearing age, thinking about having a child, pregnant, or new mom, make sure that you are also very aware of what the law allows and accommodates for. Mm-hmm. Because I am glad that the state attorney general is going after Providence.
But going back 5 years.
Yeah, and I hope it sends a message to other employers, but especially a hospital system.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is nuts. A Boeing jury just handed down another massive price tag tied to the 737 MAX disasters. A federal jury in Chicago awarded nearly $50 million to the family of 24-year-old Samia Stumo, who died in the 2019 Ethiopian Airlines crash that killed 157 people. The Seattle Times reports this is actually only the second MAX crash case to go to trial. Boeing has already quietly settled dozens of others. The company also reached a deal with the Department of Justice to avoid criminal prosecution. But what makes this case different, G, is that Stumo's family refused to sign an earlier agreement that blocked families from going after punitive damages. So they were like, nope. And now their attorneys are saying they want to keep going. And they want to try holding Boeing executives personally accountable. Mm-hmm. And 6 years later, the detail that I still can't wrap my head around is this. Investigators found the same faulty flight control software also forced the nose of another MAX plane downward. And if you recall, the first crash involved a Lion Air flight that killed 189 people. So it happened twice before Boeing finally grounded the jets.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about like you just said, a software problem that was known about, and then it happened. So we're talking about 346 people died, perished in this. That's some mommies, some daddies, some aunties, loved ones, families that will literally never get them back. I think in this whole thing that I read, I was reading it this morning, and this is the part that really stuck out to me. It says that Boeing reached an agreement with the Department of Justice to avoid criminal prosecution. Yep. So once again,
you can buy your way out of criminal prosecution.
So money literally can go for silence. Hey, how can we get this family? Look, I know you grieving. I know you hurting. I know you won't never get that person back again. But here's some money, and then you never talk about it again.
And for Boeing, I mean, the amount that they're talking about, Samia Stumo was only 24 years old, had a very bright future, for the family, I'm sure no amount of money is going to make it right. Nearly $50 million. I understand why this jury in Chicago awarded that amount. In terms of Boeing, Boeing is doing better under this new CEO, is trying to make changes. I hope that was a chapter of the past that doesn't repeat for the safety of the flying public. And I understand that particular jury award. But I want to bring up another story that is in the news today. And this is about this Mercer Island woman who is now suing Alaska Airlines after what she says was a terrifying flight from Seattle to Phoenix during the holiday travel rush. And according to this lawsuit, Alaska Flight 700 hit severe turbulence on December 26th after pilots, she claims, allegedly got repeated warnings about dangerous weather ahead. And the complaint says the plane suddenly dropped about 200 feet in seconds, throwing passengers and crew around the cabin. And the woman says even with her seatbelt on, her head slammed into the ceiling. This is her attorney, Mark Lindquist.
Typically, you would expect pilots to divert the plane when they know severe turbulence and dangerous weather is ahead. Here, they flew right into the dangerous weather.
So now she's seeking compensation for her injuries, her medical bills, and emotional trauma. And Alaska Airlines has not yet responded publicly.
I don't want to be disrespectful by what I'm going to say, because I don't, and I know Mark Lindquist, nice guy, and lawyer. That's what it's being. A lot of cases involving Alaska Airlines. But what really stands out to me is let's talk about turbulence, right? For people that have flown before, right? There's one thing that I have learned, that like turbulence can happen, and a lot of times you have the pilot get on there. Everybody in the cabin, just to let you know, we have turbulence. That's going to be, it might be a bumpy ride. Yeah. And now, Ursula.
Even with the slightest little shudder, they're on there. Turbulence ahead. You need to get your seatbelts on.
It happens, right? Yes. And then, of course, we don't have the harnesses on top. We only have the seatbelt there on the bottom. You know what I mean? And so sometimes this is why you put your seatbelt on. Hey, flight attendant, please take your seats, right? Because this is going to get bumpy. And so I've been on planes before where I've gotten up there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Here's where I'm going with this. Man, we sue for everything. The coffee too hot. The water too wet. The weights at the gym too heavy. No, look, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but we have become a sue-happy country and society. Accidents happen, and then lawyer up happens. I'm just asking, where is the middle? Emotional distress? You think I had no damn emotional distress? I had to look at the lady. You know my secret.
Yeah, you look for the white lady.
I look for the white lady and make sure she's cool.
Yeah, if she's cool.
By the way, we should probably explain that, because there's probably somebody new.
Maybe you better.
Listen, you guys. Ever since I've been younger, when I get on plane, I've been scared of planes. And then sometimes if there's rough turbulence and stuff like that, I'll look around. And if I see that the lady over there, if she's calm and cool, it calms me down. I don't know why I've done it. I've just done it. Okay, finish.
You've just looked for that lady. And for me, can the pilots just make it a regular thing to get on the air, say, hey, this is normal. We got you. You know, this is what's happening. I love it when the pilot actually talks. Yes. Or I look at the flight attendants to see, are they worried? Yeah, that's my cue. Should I be worried? Should I not be worried? But to your point, I mean, this, I'm just going to say, feels like a money grab.
It does.
Because, by the way, you can tell when turbulence is going to happen, but there is something that is called, I want to say silent turbulence, but there's something new that radar cannot pick up. So even though most turbulence can be seen and you know it's coming, right, there's some version of it that is not seen. Pilots, help me. There's some version that is not detectable by radar, and it does surprise everybody. And again, that's why they keep telling you, keep your seatbelt on at all times unless you have to go to the bathroom. Right. And then for those people who decide that they need to go to the bathroom, like they take a last second sprint when you know you're either going to land or they're telling you keep your seatbelt on, would you knock that off, please?
Ursula, you know your dog. I'll be on a plane on Friday night. I fly a lot. Sometimes you be flying, and sometimes you hit turbulence, and the pilot didn't even say nothing yet.
Yes,
because you
they
hit
didn't
it.
know.
They didn't know it was coming. And so specifically in this lawsuit, and you can hear Mark Lindquist say, he says, hey, They knew turbulence was coming, but they flew through it anyways. But what the hell are they supposed to do?
Take a long way out.
They usually do, to make sure that they do the best thing to land this thing safely.
If I were on this jury, it wouldn't work well.
Ernie just texted me. He said, G, please don't get fired today. We need you. Okay.
Oh.
Am I getting close, Ernie?
Oh.
Hey, 947, world famous, Would You Rather. But up next, would you believe that there's a thing out right now that says U.S. students are performing worse in school than they did 10 years ago? We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
Save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
Gas prices keep climbing, but the cost to drive doesn't have to. At Subaru of Puyallup, fuel-efficient models help you go farther on every tank with the confidence of all-wheel drive. From the all-electric Solterra to the Forester Hybrid with up to 35 miles per gallon, your stress-free shopping experience starts at Subaru of Puyallup. For stress-free pricing, a huge selection, and all the current pricing and financing specials, visit SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership, part of the Harnish Auto family.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity Medical Clinic?
No, I don't want to do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explained this to them, that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our Kids Zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KIRO Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KIRO Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries, they add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. The suspect in the stabbing death of a 19-year-old University of Washington student turned himself into police. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports he may have been following female students about a week before the murder.
The suspect may have been stalking female students before a 19-year-old was stabbed to death inside an off-campus apartment laundry room. Surveillance photos show a man inside a dorm where students say he followed a girl around campus before an RA forced him to leave. Seattle Police Detective Eric Munoz says UW police were aware of prior reports.
If that is, in fact, the same person that was seen on campus, you could never predict that he would commit such an egregious crime.
One student's text about the man in the dorm warned, "Please be careful. He was following one of my friends around a week before the girl died." Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
The 31-year-old suspect is set to appear in King County Court this afternoon. President Trump says his talks in Beijing today with President Xi Jinping went great, while the country's leader had a blunt warning for the U.S. over Taiwan. CBS's Latin Brand has more on the summit.
China has also expressed opposition to U.S. arms sales to the self-governing island. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, speaking to NBC News, says the U.S. position has not changed and warned it would be a mistake for China to try and take Taiwan by force.
From our perspective, any forced change in the status quo and the situation that's there now would be bad for both countries.
In Pierce County, the Tacoma Humane Society is changing how it operates after a deadly dog attack. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun reports.
This happened at the beginning of the month at Dune Peninsula after the Tacoma City Marathon. Owner Paul Beck tells KIRO 7 he saw a large dog grab his pup, bite him, and shake him. He wasn't able to save Brownie. The Humane Society was trying to get the other dog adopted that day. Instead, the shelter euthanized it and says it takes full responsibility. It released this new plan on social media. It includes having more workers at events and expanding training for volunteers. The Humane Society says its next step is looking for third-party review for future off-site events.
Family is mourning 34-year-old Alex Keene, the Bothell hiker whose 3-day search on Mount Pew ended in tragedy. Search crews began looking for Keene Sunday after he did not show up for work at Skydive Snohomish, where he was a full-time pilot. Keene's aunt says,
"When we did get the call that they had found him, it was gut-wrenching. I mean, the initial shock of knowing that this 34-year-old strong young man did not make it it's just absolutely devastating."
Family says Keene was an avid outdoorsman. The last time the Seahawks took the field,
the Seahawks win Super Bowl 60. They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
And the team they beat will be in the Northwest when the Hawks unveil their championship banner. Multiple reports say it will be a Super Bowl rematch week with Seattle hosting the New England Patriots. The game at Lumen Field is set for September 9th. And for your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, there's still a lot of brake lights from Federal Way to Seattle. It'll take you at least an hour right now. Puyallup to Renton, about 45 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 40 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Feel the freedom of lower energy bills this Memorial Day. Get $525 off every window, $1,000 off every door, plus 12 months zero-interest financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. And for your forecast, clouds continue today with peaks of sunshine here and there. Highs will be in the low 60s. Right now, it's about 53 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
9:35, you're listening to the Gee and Ursula Show, and we are going to be talking about students in the classroom because apparently many of them are struggling. And a new report finds that the problems began well before COVID. This is a new Harvard, Stanford, and Dartmouth analysis, and it shows that U.S. students are performing worse than they were a decade ago, with reading scores starting to slide around 2013. So one researcher is calling this a learning recession and points to two big culprits. One, schools are moving away from test-based accountability. And then the other one, which I think personally is the bigger one, social media is taking over kids' lives. And this report also points to chronic absenteeism and weak reading instruction, even though schools using phonics-based science of reading programs are seeing some improvement. So does it surprise you at all that we are seeing a decline in performance of students?
It doesn't surprise me at all. And ask me if I think students today are smarter than we were. Yes, I do. Here's the problem, and I want to try to redo it because you guys heard me say and talk about the outdated curriculum. And oh, by the way, do I agree the screens are the reason? Yes, I do. The screens are a reason. A lot of these kids are walking around with the ability to answer things in 0.3 seconds, a lot of information. Matter of fact, a lot of you adults do the same thing. But Ursula, we are still grading kids on which kid is able to sit and be quiet the longest. Right? Because some kids are really smart, but some kids aren't able to just sit there. Some kids, some adults, aren't able to sit there and listen to a 50-minute lecture on things. The truth is, we can't unring this bell. It is what it is. But if we keep going about this, this is the way we've always done it, yes, we will continue to see the scores get lower, and we will have things talking about how the kids are underperforming. All I ask is this. Can we just change it up? Can we stop being able to reward Johnny with the A because he's able to sit quiet? But little Billy, who's really smart, he's actually smarter than Johnny. He can't sit well. By the way, I'm speaking.
I'm going to say, and go ahead. I want to hear you. No.
I'm just speaking for myself.
Yes,
I'm Billy.
I can tell the passion that's. Yeah,
I'm Billy.
Yeah,
right. And so we have this school curriculum that has not changed. Oh, you need some cursive. We got keyboards. So I'm not a computer guy. I don't even turn on my dang on computer. But I know this. We trying to sit here. It's almost like 2026, right? Get an update. We got the software, and then we got a 1986 computer. Imagine trying to take 2026 software and put it on 1986 computer. That's all I got. I'm cooked.
Well, a couple of things. One is, I agree with you. I think there's so much more science and data that proves it. I mean, every kid learns differently. Everyone has different speeds. It doesn't necessarily, testing cannot be the only performance indicator that shows how well someone is doing. But that said, it is an indicator. And if you see the test scores keep getting worse and worse, Houston, we have a problem. But that cannot be the only indicator, one. The other thing, too, is I think we're asking teachers to do more and more in the classroom when you're talking about bigger classrooms with kids with different learning styles and different needs. And I think when you've got these big, fat classrooms, it's very hard to do. Then throw in social media and technology and the distractions. The Seattle School District is just now getting around to banning cell phones. But, I mean, kids have had these cell phones for so much of their lives already that, I mean, it's distractible as adults. Imagine that as a kid. And I know, Chef, you've got your mic on. You have kids going through this right now.
I see this every day with my kids. You can be a great parent, try and limit the amount of screen time that your child gets, and they can still have poor outcomes because of that screen time. Just from the study perspective, like, even if you keep the screen time to less than an hour a day, you are still impacting, for kids under the age of 5, their ability to develop language, their attention span, and their readiness for skills. I look at the difference between myself and my son, Matthew. We're very, very similar. By the time I was in 3rd grade, I was reading long adult chapter-length books. I read The Hobbit when I was in 4th grade. Matthew is in 3rd grade right now. He does not read any books that don't have pictures in them and refuses to touch a book with, chapter-length sentences. His attention span is very poor compared to what mine was. His ability to read and have the attention for reading is much worse. And the way that kids do their actual learning at school is also on screens. And I just see it. Like, I know his scores would be much higher than they are if he'd never had a screen in front of him than they currently are. It's just undeniable, let alone the kids who grow up with those things literally attached to them. Yeah. The iPad kids.
So true.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear from educators. Love to hear from you, although you're probably teaching right now, but I know we do have some teachers and principals who'd like to weigh in. Would love to hear from you.
Can I simplify something? And I just want to just make a very simple point to us adults, grown-ups, parents. Right now, if I had your phone number and I send you a video that's 4 minutes long, I'm asking. If I send you a video that's 4 minutes long, what is the likelihood that you watch all 4 minutes? But if I send you a video that's 30 seconds long, what's the likelihood that you might watch that? So whatever your answer is, just remember, you have an answer, and so do kids. Maybe we might have to start teaching kids in 30-second loops rather than 50-minute loops. It's a lot of thought that goes in there. Coming up next, would you rather, Gee Ursula?
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better tax resolution.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our Kids Zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
A shot to center field. Julio is there, and Julio makes the catch!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house, even when there's not an actual seat, because you're in the T-Mobile pen.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
The pen isn't just the perfect space to hang with your whole crew. It's where you can see Julio defend the no-fly zone 1 minute and watch Senor Smoke get ready for his big entrance the next.
Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Sure, the pen is standing room only, but with a team this exciting, who wants to be sitting down? Mariners baseball. Try this up.
With Mariners Value Games, score tickets starting under $12 on select dates all season, including next week's White Sox series, May 18th through 20th. And the 18th and 19th, you can also take home a Josh Naylor bobblehead. Thanks to Western Washington Toyota dealers. Get your tickets at mariners.com/valuegames.
Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break, why not consider Aegis Living Respite Care, a short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to schedule a visit today.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-917-5151. 800-917-5151. 800-917-5151.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. So here's what's happening the rest of the show. Today at 11:30, the chief of Seattle Police Department, Chief Sean Barnes, is going to join the show. Looking forward to having him. Got a lot of questions to ask because there's a lot of things happening here in Seattle. Up next at 10 o'clock, there was a Covington man that was arrested and charged with harassing a Hawaiian monk seal. We'll be discussing that. And then something else happened that's connected to that story. So we do all that at 10 o'clock. But right now, it's time for the world famous Would You Rather game. Here we go. Would you rather, Ursula, have a teacher who is boring but fair, or the fun teacher that brings in the TV and VCR, but also plays favorites?
Boring and fair. I'm sorry, but I can't get down with the. I love the fun teacher. How about fun teacher and fair? That would be the perfect teacher. Because no one wants a boring teacher, but a fun teacher who plays favorites. Yeah. If you're not the favorite, you're not going to learn.
Yeah.
Or you're going to learn, but it's not the lesson you want to learn.
I'm going to go the fun teacher and the one that plays favorites. You want to know why?
Why?
That's the world.
That's
work. Wherever you work at, there's somebody playing favorites. It's going to happen to the beginning of time. So you might as well duplicate what I'm going to see in the real world. Give me the fun, baby. Maybe I'm a favorite. Maybe I'm not. Matter of fact,
you would do everything you could to be the favorite, though.
You know what? There's been times that I wasn't the favorite.
Yeah.
But when you know you're not the favorite, you got to act accordingly. You got to play the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I was one of those that always thought, hey, if you do the right thing and you do your work, someone's going to pay attention and you will be rewarded. That's the person that I was. Yeah, trust me. I've seen. You're right. I have seen how that's either worked in my favor or has not worked in my favor.
Gee,
at different points in
life. I had
life.
a few teachers who I wasn't the favorite for.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been the favorite.
Yeah, it happens.
Most pain in the butt.
But
I'm going with boring and fair.
But if I really, Ursula did kind of nail it. Let me tell you something, guys. I figured out right away in school. So let me get this straight. If this teacher likes me, it'll be easier to get an A in the class?
I just refuse.
So I wasn't the class clown that you guys might think, or the disruptor.
No, but I even see how you do it here at work.
Oh, yeah.
I see. You make relationships all over the building.
I do. And then, okay, here we go. Would you rather have a teacher really be extremely hard on you, especially in front of the class from time to time, or fake smile at you for the entire year that you're in their class and they never call you out at all?
Well, if we're going to go with life lessons and getting you prepared for life, I'd rather go with the teacher who is hard on you, even sometimes calling you out in class.
Yeah.
I will say that even more recently with our sons, they, especially our older son, said it was because I had some really tough teachers that prepared me for what I was going to face in a college as big as UCLA, where you don't get a whole lot of hand-holding. It's either you're going to swim or you're going to sink.
Mm-hmm.
And it was teachers who were really tough that helped set and pave the way.
Yeah.
Depends on the age. So high school and
True.
above,
True.
absolutely the hard teacher.
Yes, true.
If you have a kid who is the nail that constantly sticks up and is always being,
Yes.
there's a problem here and being talked about, that's hard for kids.
Well,
hard for development.
And it creates, it's kind of a perpetual thing, right? It perpetuates this idea that I'm a bad kid.
Here's one.
Wait, are you answering these?
Oh, well, I answered the first one. I guess I could better answer the second one. So the second one is yes, I'd rather have the hard
one.
teacher,
Okay.
no doubt. So here we go. Would you rather know exactly what grade that you're getting before every test, or never see a grade again, but just get feedback? Let me say it again. Would you rather always know that I'm going to get a grade and I'm going to see the grade before I do every test? I know I'm going to get a grade after. Or never see a grade again, the only thing you get is feedback.
I'd love to just get the feedback. To heck with the grade. That said, the grade and the GPA is what so many, I mean, I ended up going to college. That's what is so often what college admission is based on, right?
Yeah.
But I think if it was more feedback, that would be much more constructive and much more helpful.
Yeah.
Well, what you're asking in a way is whether you're a highly anxious person or you're a person who needs constant feedback. If you're a highly anxious person, tell me ahead of time. Like, I don't want that sword of Damocles hanging over my head.
Yeah. So I would say the number one reason how I did in school the way that I did, because every single time, Ursula, the grades would come out. There was a superintendent's list. There was a headmaster's list. There was a par list, meaning you hit your par, right? And they establish whatever your par might be. And then there was a below par and your list, and you're on probation.
Ooh.
And so every single time that list came out, it'd be packed in front to see where you're at. Let me tell you something. I don't care nothing about no feedback. I want to see that grade because I wanted to see my name on that superintendent's list.
So you use it as a motivating factor.
Yes. I need the grade.
Yeah. For some people, it's a demotivating factor.
Yes. Okay. Again, 11:30. Chief Sean Barnes will join the show, Chief of the Seattle Police Department. But up next, another thing we got to talk about. You know, the NFL official schedule comes out today. Folks like me can plan their life the rest of the year. So we'll be talking about that, and we'll be talking about their week 1 opponent. I'm going to see if you agree or disagree. Next, Gee Ursula.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
Save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
How would you like to finally lose all those unwanted pounds quickly without spending thousands on painful injections or prescriptions? Hi, it's Donna Simpson, health and wellness expert. You probably know someone that is using Ozempic, the hottest diet craze in the country. Everyone knows about this prescription injection. Celebs use it to look their best. The problem is most of us can't afford Ozempic, and these injections can be so uncomfortable. Now you can lose the weight just as easily, but with no needles, no expensive prices, no side effects, and no worries. You need to try Lozempic, a new miracle weight loss breakthrough that performs so well it's been called nature's Ozempic. Lozempic is an easy-to-take diet pill now available without a prescription, being used by thousands to get rid of those unwanted pounds. So call now and find out how to get a free bottle.
To find out how to get your free bottle of Lozempic, call 800-605-5724, 800-605-5724. Free bottles are limited, so call 800-605-5724. That's 800-605-5724.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO Newsradio.
Some people out there love to do things entirely on their own. Others ask for help and trust their resources. When involved in an auto accident, you've got the choice of dealing with insurance on your own or hiring an attorney. I'm joined in studio by Harold D. Carr. He represents Harold Carr Law Offices. Harold, what's one of the main reasons for seeking representation?
If you were to look at statistics, most people end up with a lot less recovery when they don't have a law firm representing them.
And why should they hire Harold Carr Law Offices?
We're not shy about bringing lawsuits. We do try to settle, and insurance companies know that. They know that we're fair in how we talk to them. The answer is really, we are very professional. But we've had cases, big and small, where we've had to take it into litigation, and about 98% of those will settle in mediation. A lot more than the client originally expected.
Visit carlaw.com. That's carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident, Call CAR.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-265-7681. 800-265-7681. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-265-7681.
With the high gas prices, now is the time to buy a hybrid or all-electric at Subaru of Puyallup. Great selection and pricing are at your stress-free dealership, SubaruofPuyallup.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Trump says China's President Xi has told him he wants an end to the Iran war and normalcy in the Strait of Hormuz.
President Xi would like to see a deal made. He would like to see a deal made. And he did offer, he said, if I can be of any help at all, I would like to be of help.
Trump was on Fox News. China says Xi warned Trump Taiwan could become a point of conflict between the two nations. CBS News contributor Samantha Vinograd.
They want the United States to stop giving arms to Taiwan under statute known as the Taiwan Relations Act of 1979. They certainly want the United States to move military assets out of the region that could be used to defend Taiwan in the case of an invasion. And they want the U.S. to really step back from its unofficial ties with officials in Taiwan.
A unanimous voice vote today in the U.S. Senate.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. The ayes appear to have it.
Passing a resolution to withhold their pay during future government shutdowns. CBS's Jill Schlesinger says a government report out today indicates retail sales tanked last month.
I think that the gas, although it's not the only thing we spend money on, it becomes like a huge billboard for prices being higher. And that does impact our confidence level. And when our confidence goes down, we may start to shift how we spend money.
Now to Ukraine, where 6 people were killed in a massive daytime drone attack carried out by Russia. CBS's Aidan Stretch in Kyiv.
President Zelensky has said was the largest attack on Ukraine of the war. Firefighters are still here. They're excavating the rubble from this building. They're still trying to find folks underneath. We don't know how many people were injured and how many people may still be underneath this pile of rubble.
Well, here at home, it seems AI is making it easier to get A's in college.
It's called grade inflation. Researchers at UC Berkeley found that since the debut of ChatGPT, professors teaching AI-exposed classes have given about 30% more A's. Harvard Business School professor Arthur Brooks.
What that does is it makes it harder to reward the people who are doing the best work and harder to distinguish between them when they graduate.
Making it harder for employers to figure out which graduates are worth hiring. Plus, AI has also made resumes and cover letters less reliable. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
On the Health Watch, new research finds a long-term issue for people who survive heart attacks. Dr. Mohammed Rida at Ohio State.
Individuals who had a prior heart attack actually had a steeper decline in their cognition.
Wall Street, the Dow is up 300 points. This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Morning.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute. Gail came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings. A major break in the UW stabbing case, but first, let's get a check on the roads at KIRO Newsradio Traffic Desk. Peel up to Renton about 45 minutes, Renton to Bellevue 40 minutes. There's still a lot of brake lights from Federal Way to Seattle. That drive will take you about 1 hour. This traffic report is sponsored by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. The suspect in the stabbing death of a 19-year-old University of Washington student is behind bars. Seattle Police Chief Detective Eric Munoz says around 10:30 last night, the suspect turned himself in to Bellevue Police, who then transferred him to Seattle Police.
Bellevue Police Department transferred physical custody to the Seattle Police Department, and Mr. Lee was then booked into King County Jail for investigation of murder.
The suspect, whose names we're holding until he's charged, is expected to be arraigned this afternoon. The 19-year-old victim was stabbed to death inside the laundry room at the Cornertime Court Apartments just north of U Village. A Covington man is facing federal charges for throwing a rock at an endangered Hawaiian monk seal in Maui. A witness recorded the now viral video.
What are you doing? Why would you throw a rock at it? Hello?
NOAA special agents arrested him near Seattle just yesterday. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Honolulu says the 38-year-old is charged with harassing a protected animal and is set to appear in U.S. District Court in Seattle today. If convicted, he faces up to 1 year in prison for each charge. He also faces fines up to $70,000. And the man charged with raping a teenage girl in North Seattle was in court Wednesday.
35-year-old Joshua Kolchewski pleaded not guilty to kidnapping and rape charges in connection with an attack last week on a 15-year-old girl at a Northgate bus stop.
I know that our office has been in touch with the survivor in this case and her family through the King County Sexual Assault Resource Center. They help people through what is a very difficult process.
Casey McNerthney in the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office says bail is set at $1 million. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Microsoft-owned LinkedIn is preparing for another round of layoffs. A source tells Reuters the company plans to cut about 5% of its workforce as part of a broader restructuring. LinkedIn employs more than 17,500 full-time workers globally. Meanwhile, workers at the Seattle Art Museum are pushing to unionize. The Seattle Times reports organizers delivered a letter to museum leadership just yesterday announcing the formation of the Seattle Museum Workers United, representing more than 100 employees. Museum director and CEO Scott Stullen tells Sam says that he's reviewing the letter and the union effort. And the global girl group Cat's Eye is coming to Seattle. Hands up, Gabriella. The 6-member group only debuted last year, but they're already taking over stages worldwide. Cat's Eye will take center stage at Climate Pledge Arena on November 17th. And for your weather right now, we've got some peaks of sunshine coming into the studio right now. Highs today will be in the low 60s. Right now, it's about 53 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday to you. Happy Friday Eve, and happy sun is shining today. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Hey, good morning. Coming up at 11 o'clock in their 11:30 news segment, we will have Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes, and of course there are the arrests and 2 very high-profile murders this week. But we have a lot of other questions for him, and I'm sure you do too. So text us on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. And right now it is time for
What's New at 10.
So we told you about this guy, and you've been hearing it on the news. A Covington man is facing federal charges now after throwing a rock at an endangered monk seal while visiting Maui. His name is Igor Litvinchik. He's 38 years old, and he hurled a coconut-sized stone at this seal, narrowly missing it last week. And this Maui resident caught the act on camera, and she tells the Hawaii News Now what that guy said to her afterward.
Why would you throw a rock at it? Hello?
My gosh, like it's not moving. The monk seal is not moving, and it was just playing around. He also was like saying something about he does this where he's from, like it's a normal thing to him. And he was like, I don't care, find me, I'm rich.
Okay, the part that's not being reported. Okay, so you heard, I don't care about this, find me, I'm rich. But the part that's not being reported is that there was another viral video that shows a local guy who was viciously beating Igor. And Hawaiian State Senator Brenton Awa commended that local guy for his actions.
You've all seen the video of the monk seal that almost got hit by the rock from the tourists who threw it. If you didn't, here it is again. And we've all seen, or some of us have seen, environmental activists, I like to call them, who took matters into his own hands to educate what might happen if you mess with our land or the animals.
Okay, so again, this is a state senator who's calling the vigilante an environmental, who beat Livinchuk, an environmental activist, and said that this beating was a quote-unquote education. But then, he went on to award the vigilante an official commendation.
Our attorney over here wants to make it clear we don't condone violence. But we did make a letter of recognition for Mr. Ambassador of Aloha. You know, we see this all the time with people with a different type of mentality coming in and destroying our stuff, in this case, animals. But we'd like at least the airline to play this type of video on all flights incoming so people don't do this kind of stuff.
So this suspect is going to be facing a federal judge in Seattle this morning, if that hasn't happened already, and the charges would be for violating the Endangered Species Act and the Marine Mammal Protection Act. And if convicted, he could face up to a year in prison and fines around $70,000.
Tone down the rhetoric. Tone down the rhetoric. We consistently see if this is a senator. It's like, hey, you know, we don't condone violence, but...
Yeah, but we're going to give him accommodation.
But here's an accommodation.
Yeah.
And, hey, airlines, when people come over here and travel to Hawaii, let them be able to see a video of why. This is what could happen if, you know, you come on over here doing that. I'm not surprised. I mean, we live in a different time right now. We live at a time where decorum is just out the window. We live in a time where you cannot believe that some of the things that people say. Go ahead.
Well, the two wrongs don't make a right. And what was happening with this video, and I understand the anger. I understand stopping this guy. I understand without going as far as beating him to a pulp. I understand ridiculing him, you know, showing this is what happened, make sure that the authorities are aware, and now the proper thing is happening. This dude who's throwing rocks and says it doesn't matter because I can pay for whatever comes to me. If he was thinking that he was impressing the gal that he was with, I mean, it just looked like a complete loser. And now he faces, you know, potentially prison time, which is probably unlikely, but he's facing federal charges. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So that was wrong and horrendous. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking at this state senator thinking, what message are you sending by giving this person? It's like we're not condoning violence. That's exactly what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. I just want to say something, because before we move on, this guy says, do whatever you want, find me or whatever. I'm rich. Right? He says that. And I just want to ask you guys, is he wrong?
Yes.
Is he wrong that he says, I'm rich, I do what I want?
I understand what you're trying to get at, because people think they can just buy themselves out of trouble. But, I'll still go with he's wrong.
Okay. I wonder, but...
He's not rich enough.
So there's a price. You know, again, it's awful what he did. It's awful what he does. And it's also awful that we live in a society where a lot of rich people can do what they want to vulnerable people and or animals. So the same thing that happens in this case where he is picking on or punching on the vulnerable, that is a consistent thing that we have. We just pick and choose, right, who we want to villainize. If they are attacking the vulnerable, it's okay. They're rich. They have enough money. So that's what we have. We have a problem where there's some people who have a lot of money and they can pick on the vulnerable and it's okay. It's unfortunate.
Well, what's also unfortunate, I mean, there's some who are saying the vigilante is a hero. And again, I understand trying to protect the animal, and trying to protect a species that is endangered and doing that. But again, do you encourage and do you give him hero status for beating someone to the pulp? Or would the more appropriate action be just make sure that this person gets prosecuted?
If it was someone here in Seattle, right, like somebody throws a rock at a seal here, I'd say no. But I think there's larger context, especially in Hawaii, to this. We're talking about, a land that was actually basically taken by the United States for corporate profit and corporate entity, and they have a constant influx of tourists, I'm sure, who do all sorts of egregiously bad behavior. And there's a lot of, longstanding local anger against a sense of entitlement, especially when somebody says, screw you, I'm going to throw money at you and just take a dump on your land. I think that's part of the context here.
I don't think it goes that deep. I think.
It's exactly what the senator said.
Yeah, the senator thinks that. Do you think the person who beat the dude to the pulp
has long simmering anger against tourists who are entitled?
I got long simmering anger about a lot of things that doesn't excuse me from taking action against someone else. And if Gee does.
Boy, if I could tell y'all my anger on a daily basis, Lord have mercy.
It doesn't excuse us.
Lord have mercy.
But I'll tell you what, Gee, you and I are on the right now in the minority on this one. There are people who are saying this person is a hero. This person deserved what he got. He deserves to be commended. Okay. I mean, I still disagree.
There's people that think Luigi Mangione.
Exactly.
Hero.
Yeah, and you and I were on the minority of that part too. Exactly. I mean, I get the anger. I get it. But we need to be better about being able to distinguish, hey, let's put that anger into making sure this person goes away, not now also taking out our anger. I mean, and this person who was throwing it at the seal, horrible person, absolutely, and needs to spend some time behind bars. Okay, let's talk about the Seahawks, because when they host their first game of the season this year, it's going to be a very familiar opponent. Mm-hmm. So tell me about it.
Yeah, so what's happening right now is the Seahawks will, according to Jordan Schultz, who is a NFL insider right now, even though the schedule doesn't drop until 5 p.m. today, and even though the schedule drops and there's a lot of people that will be planning their lives, there has been kind of a leak, if you will, and that the week one opponent on that Wednesday night game, the first opponent of the season, might be a Super Bowl rematch. First, before I continue, text in. What are your thoughts first? When you hear week one, Seattle Seahawks against the Patriots, what's your first thought before I even get to talking? So anyways, the New England Patriots are going to come to town, Ursula, and play against the Seattle Seahawks. And yeah, that's it. I mean, it's going to be a rematch. We're going to see how Sam Darnold does in the game, because we all know that Sam Darnold in that Super Bowl, he kind of struggled a little bit, but it was a good thing. They had Kenneth Walker III. They had K9. So he was an MVP. They win the game. That defense was just absolutely monstrous against that New England Patriots offense. So we'll probably see the same again.
So not just that, but also we're going to be facing a head coach who's been in the news quite a bit in the offseason.
Yeah, everything's fine. No, I mean, everything's fine. He's the head coach, and
I'm curious how excited okay, you're unusual because you also work for the Seahawks. You're really into football, but how much do we pay attention to the schedule? And is that
that's a big deal.
Yes.
Like seriously, they put people's lives on hold. Not even for those that just work in the NFL world. They have people that watch games. They're like, hey, what's the plan? We want to do these things. We want to do Christmas. We want to take a vacation. We want to go to Vegas and see this game, or go to here. Yes, there's a lot of stuff. So again, I'm curious. This is one of those things. What are your thoughts about the week one? Are you excited? The one thing I do know, there's one thing I know about the NFL. Boy, that NFL loves drama. That NFL loves the drama, and they love the fact that week one we're gonna put the New England Patriots
that's not
against the Seattle Seahawks.
That's not a coincidence.
Yeah. So we go look. Check this out, y'all. We're gonna have the New England Patriots, who's always in the news for whatever, and then against the Seattle Seahawks, who is only in the news for football. No trials. Because, one of the star receivers for the New England Patriots, they were just on trial just here recently. They were acquitted, but, that happened. So, again, it's the New England Patriots versus Seattle Seahawks. What else you got there, Ursula? It's crazy.
Hey, let's talk about Seattle because it just keeps growing.
What's that? Oh, does it?
Yeah. So this, again, comes from the Seattle Times, and Seattle is growing, but maybe not at the breakneck cranes everywhere pace of the 2010s. Remember that when we would always talk about, oh my gosh, you see how many cranes on the downtown skyline? According to new census data, nearly 11,600 more people moved into the city over the last year, which puts Seattle at a record population of nearly 785,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're thinking, wait, we haven't even cracked 1 million, it's because we're talking about the city of Seattle proper, not surrounding areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even with all the complaints about affordability, taxes, traffic, downtown struggles, crime, Seattle still ranked 4th when it came to growth among the 50 biggest cities in America. In fact, only Charlotte, Fort Worth, and Atlanta grew faster than Seattle. Does that surprise you? And this comes, again, from the Seattle Times, Gene Bulk, who analyzes the census data.
Read this whole thing beginning to end. And so here's what I came away with after reading it. Here's my analogy on this. Yes, they're 4th in the United States. By the way, when the Census Bureau, when they redid it, at first it was higher, then it had to go lower once they revised. And they do that from time to time to see what's going on. And so what happened is when Gene Bulk and they're talking about this is what has happened in the past. We're talking about what happened in the past. So here's why we should not do a victory lap. Because when this was done, this doesn't take into account the tech layoffs that we talk about all the time. This doesn't take account into what Starbucks is doing right now with over there in Nashville investment of $100 million.
Sure.
This does not take into account the business climate right now here. Businesses are having a hard time staying afloat because it is not nice. They're not being nice to the businesses here in the Seattle area and all through Washington. But we'll just talk about Seattle. Right now, today, you have Bellevue that's getting the leases. You have Seattle's not doing it. So here's my point. Imagine celebrating and be like, yo, at the end of the third quarter, the score is this, and we're winning, right?
Yes.
And then, but we're talking about that, and it's in the fourth quarter when we talked about it. We're talking about the score that was the end of the third quarter.
Yes,
but
and
we're
it
talking
doesn't have
about
the picture today.
Because right now, this team is driving.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. But so you're celebrating that. Here's my point. When they do this again, it's going to look different.
It's going to look
y'all.
different. Now, here's my question, though. Are you more optimistic when you hear we're becoming more crowded, minus, the latest stats that are not accounted in these census numbers? Because like you said, we're talking about a lot of layoffs. But when you hear Seattle is one of the cities that is growing the most in this country, do you look at that as a positive to you, or is that a negative? Because not everyone looks at that as a positive.
No, I look at it as it's a celebration of what's already happened. That's the past.
Yes.
And the reason why it's hard for me, or maybe you, to celebrate the past, because we know what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Right now on the field,
Yes.
we cannot stop that team.
Yes.
They
that's
keep
true.
scoring and
Yep.
driving.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, we can celebrate.
So is there a positive to it, though?
No. It's the past.
Well, no. Is there a positive then to, obviously layoffs, no, but because housing costs kept getting driven up, like, oh, everyone's moving here. Housing is scarce. Prices keep increasing. But there is a silver lining if we're talking about, okay, these census numbers don't take into account that there are a lot of people who, unfortunately, have lost their jobs, who may be moving out of here.
Right.
Maybe in some areas that would mean lower housing costs.
Yeah. I just want to say this.
Less traffic.
Imagine you married and your husband was prom king. And there's a picture on the mantle of when he was prom king in high school. And you say, great, that's awesome. But you ain't had no job in a year. You're not bringing any money in. So it's hard to celebrate the past. It's hard to celebrate you there when right now you know what's happening currently.
Yes.
So yes, let me play. Yes, I'm going to celebrate. The Seattle city of Seattle was 4th. That's awesome.
Yes, but it could be a whole different story when Gene Bulk writes about this a year from now. Yes, absolutely.
All right, good stuff. Remember, the chief of Seattle Police Department, Sean Barnes. Chief Sean Barnes joins us at 11:30. But up next, clutch your pearls, y'all. What do you think that business schools are offering up for tuition? You think they increased or decreased? Well, we'll tell you about it next. Gee and Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
I have a 1941 Dodge at the front of the house. And
there's a nest in there.
Wasps. Big nest.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I got 2 cans of wasp spray. I put them both on the seat, and I get a .22 rifle. Poof! Giant, cloud of fire and poison, which it did work. It seemed like something that Matt Damon, what's those movies he was in? Born Identity, a Born Identity thing.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
If your idea of a perfect weekend includes a trailhead, a ferry ride, or a last-minute escape to the mountains, say hello to the Subaru Crosstrek. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership with over 800 Subarus in stock. And right now you can get the 2026 Crosstrek with 1.9% financing for 36 months on approved credit. I love talking about Carter Subaru. We have already purchased 2 cars from them, and we will be future customers as well. Because why? They know how to treat their customers right. They treat you like family. I also love the fact that Carter Subaru is invested in our community. They're not just part of the community, but they invest in the community, and that is so important to me. Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or online at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 5/31/26.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our Kids Zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
This May, stock up on beautiful annual plants from Sky Nursery, especially if Mom likes flowers. A hanging basket for a shady spot, a patch of Kiss Me Over the Garden Gate, or straw flowers to keep in a year-round dried bouquet. Sky Nursery, the gardener's garden store, skynursery.com.
Our local tax expert and advocate Greg Nunn understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
Home Comfort Alliance, a Carrier factory authorized dealer delivering efficiency, reliability, and quiet performance every time. John Curley here. Upgrade to Carrier cooling and get a heating system free. Use their 60-second price estimator at homecomfortalliance.com.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashar. Just days after that deadly hantavirus outbreak, another cruise ship has been hit with a highly contagious virus. CBS's Raimi Inocencio has more.
Roughly 50 people came down with norovirus, commonly known as the stomach flu. According to Ambassador Cruise Lines, which operates the vessel, Ambition departed Belfast, Northern Ireland on May 8th before picking up more passengers in Liverpool. That's when officials say there was a spike in cases on board. It then docked in Bordeaux and was put under a brief quarantine by French health officials.
Here in Washington, the suspect in the stabbing of a 19-year-old University of Washington student is behind bars this morning. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports he turned himself in last night.
Seattle Police Detective Eric Munoz says around 10:30 at night, the suspect turned himself in to Bellevue Police, who then transferred him to SPD.
Bellevue Police Department transferred physical custody to the Seattle Police Department, and Mr. was then booked into King County Jail for investigation of murder.
The suspect, whose name we're holding until he's charged, will be arraigned in the coming days. The 19-year-old victim was stabbed to death inside a laundry room at the Nordheim Court Apartments just north of View Village earlier this week. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Police say the suspect is set to appear in court today. In Pierce County, the Tacoma Humane Society is now changing how it operates after a deadly dog attack. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun reports.
This happened at the beginning of the month at Dune Peninsula after the Tacoma City Marathon. Owner Paul Beck tells KIRO 7 he saw a large dog grab his pup, bite him, and shake him. He wasn't able to save Brownie. The Humane Society was trying to get the other dog adopted that day. Instead, the shelter euthanized it and says it takes full responsibility. It released this new plan on social media. It includes having more workers at events and expanding training for volunteers. The Humane Society says its next step is looking for third-party review for future off-site events.
Some Seattle residents say they're being charged for garbage they did not put out.
Sometimes our extra garbage charges are $70 on the last bill from multiple extra bags of garbage.
Elizabeth Forsett says she has video proof of her Ring camera showing no extra bags on the curb. She claims her neighbors are also seeing bogus fees. Seattle Public Utilities does not believe there's fraud in the system, but officials say they do want people to call if something on their bill does not look right. The utility says it averages about $8 million a year in extra baggage fees. And we're hearing from the family of a hiker found dead on Mount Pew near Darrington. 34-year-old Alex Keene was found on Tuesday.
When we did get the call that they had found him, it was gut-wrenching. I mean, the initial shock of knowing that this 34-year-old strong young man did not make it it's just absolutely devastating.
The family is raising money to cover funeral expenses, and they're also asking people to donate to Snohomish Search and Rescue. They are the volunteers who found Keene's body.
That was KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas reporting. For your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, you'll have to rent in about 45 minutes. There's still a lot of brake lights from Federal Way to Seattle. That drive still an hour right now. Renton to Bellevue, about 40 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio. And for your weather forecast, peaks of sunshine this afternoon. Highs will be the low 60s. Right now, it's about 54 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. And it turns out one of the most expensive graduate degrees in this country may suddenly be actually negotiable. And we're saying this because the Wall Street Journal is reporting that business schools across the country are slashing MBA tuition by as much as 40 to 50% because applications are dropping and students are getting nervous about the job market. And what do you think? AI, of course. So I'm going to give you a couple examples. Purdue is cutting tuition nearly in half for some of its online MBA programs. UC Irvine and Johns Hopkins are offering big discounts as well. Some schools are now marketing specialized AI-era business degrees that are aimed at workers who are worried that they could just easily get replaced. And one of the big things that the Wall Street Journal is reporting is that there is a shift in perception about the MBA and the job realities that new grads are facing because for years, the MBA was treated like a golden ticket. I would also argue that for years, MBA was, I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I know I want to shift, so I'm going to go back and get my MBA. But now even graduates from top business schools are struggling to find jobs in some industries.
It's on the clearance rack. Hey, y'all remember, or maybe you still do, maybe you go shopping, right? And you're like, you know what? I'm going to wait for that to go on the clearance rack. Well, now you got MBAs out here on the clearance rack. Now, I'm quite sure. Text in. I'm waiting for you. There's going to be a lot of folks texting in and said, Gee, hold on. But back in my day, I paid full price. There's no way in the world that I want the next generation to get half price on an MBA. That's not fair, right? I'm sure I'll get that one. No doubt about it, I'll get that. But let me just continue just to say, yeah, of course it's on the clearance rack. AI taking jobs out here. They don't care if you got an MBA, MBA, NFL, CBA. They don't care nothing about that. That AI is coming here doing some things. And Ursula, you said it yourself. It used to be the golden ticket. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. I know you guys think that I'm so anti-membership or anti-education. I'm not. If you're able to get it, awesome, great. But if you have to go and get it and you got to be $200,000 in debt, and you're coming out to a job world that's already stacked against you. As a matter of fact, it's more stacked against you today than ever because you're not just fighting against the already unfairness that continues. You're fighting against the affirmative action. You're fighting against, well, some may not. So you fight against DEI. You're fighting against AI. There's a big fight that you got to make. So there's no guarantee, Ursula, you're going to be able to repay that loan. And then we already know how people feel about your student loan. They don't want you to get a break on that. Yeah. So make sure if you get that student loan, you're paying all of it, my boy.
Okay. I have a real life scenario involving MBA because our oldest son was strongly considering jumping out of the job market. He has a great job right now. He's been working ever since he graduated. It's been 7 years now. And he was like, he dreams of being a CEO one day and he feels like he needs those 3 letters. So additional letters, even though he has an excellent experience, excellent resume, excellent, all of it. But he's like, I think I need that MBA to help me. And he just can't make the math pencil out. He would have to jump out, potentially go into debt or just spend a lot of money to come back with what guarantee?
Yeah.
Like, there's no guarantee that he'd be making more money than he has right now.
Yeah.
And people who he works with are telling him, you don't need the MBA. So it's it's interesting because I think AI has changed a lot of that too. And these programs, the reason they're discounting a lot of them is because it's changing so fast. How can they? It's almost like you get the best experience in real life while working versus going back to the classroom.
Isn't that something? Well, isn't that something? You get the real stuff by working. And by the way, Nikki says I'm spicy today. I'm not spicy. I'm just repeating. I'm just repeating what has been said and continues to be said over time. And so, by the way, I think it's good. Do you think people judge MBAs? Do you guys think that an MBA from here is different from an MBA from there? Like, for example, let's just take me. I always like to throw myself under the bus.
Yeah.
Y'all know I ain't got an MBA, but let's just say that I did. If I got an MBA and it was online, does that still hold weight? Just out of curiosity.
Maybe out of the first job and depending on the job. You remember what the story was a couple of days ago where some employers are doubling down on this whole idea of where did you graduate from and what your GPA is?
Uh-huh.
There are some who are still using that as their filter, right? I mean, it's a weed out process. And so would that matter to some? I think a lot of the value of an MBA is also the connections you make.
Right.
But again, do you make those connections better while you're out of the job market or in this very fast-changing job market? Do you make better connections if you're continuing to work?
I got a challenge for y'all, and you can't cheat. You can't look it up. Here's the challenge. I want you to tell me, like I'm a fifth grader, the difference between a business degree and an MBA.
3 letters. Okay. Speaking of business, though.
And a couple $100,000.
Yeah, and a couple $100,000.
No, I'm literally asking. Like, what is the difference between a business degree and an MBA?
Yes.
Direct access to professors and alumni.
Yes. Networks and cohorts. And.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, for some in the C-suite, it's very important to have the alphabet soup.
So is it fair to say that 90% of us don't even know the real difference besides the access and the membership? Like, what's the difference between a business degree and an MBA?
Is it more
extensive business talk?
Yes, and you also, like I said, I mean, you end up working with a group of people on, again, different projects or working with business, working with corporations where you have access. But I think bottom line, it really is the letters.
It is. Imagine getting.
But I want someone else to argue because I don't have an MBA. I have 2 degrees. I just don't have an MBA.
Getting a business degree. Imagine getting a business degree, going into the job world like your son, right? Your son is in the job world. Yes. He's in it. Yes. Matter of fact, he's in it so much that he is going from the way it was before AI, now he's transitioning into AI.
Yes.
But somebody can potentially tell him, yes, Steven, you got a business degree, and I see you are going through all the changes, but you still need an MBA.
Yeah. No.
What do I need the MBA for?
His current company is telling him, you don't need that MBA. Just stay right here.
Ow. Scenarios next. Gee Ursula.
Did you know that most people wait 6 or 7 years before they buy a new TV? That's a lot of time in front of one TV. So why not get one of the best sets for the next 7 years, like one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony models? Too expensive? What if you could get up to $1,000 trade-in for your old set? Who would do a stupid deal like this? Right now, at Video Only, you can get big bucks for your old set as a trade-in and a hot price on the new models. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only.
It's G. Scott here. Let's talk for a sec. Summer's supposed to be about sunshine and kids having fun, but when the kids are home all day, you already know that grocery bill is real. That's why I want you to know about Sunbucks and why our friends at Safeway are helping get the word out. If your family qualifies, you could receive $120 per child to spend on groceries this summer. Food in your cart and a little less pressure on your budget. And there's no catch. There's no judgment. This program is simply about making sure kids have enough to eat when school is out. Here's the important part. Many families are enrolled automatically, and a card may already be headed to your mailbox. But some families do need to apply depending on income and where you live. So take a moment right now and check. Visit freesummermeals.org. That's freesummermeals.org. Safeway, looking out for the families this summer.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic to get the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
Summer's right around the corner. Can you say World Series? I don't want to jinx anybody. And I don't want to jinx that heating system or cooling system that you have, but it could possibly out at home. So the best thing to do right now is to replace the system. You want it done right and done fast. Upgrade your cooling now with Home Comfort Alliance. Their 60-second online price estimator makes it so easy. Upgrade to a Lennox cooling system and get a new heating system free. Plus available utility rebates. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today.
It is the Gee Ursula Show. Good morning. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Hey, just so you guys know, 11:30, 11 o'clock hour. The chief of the Seattle Police Department, Chief Sean Barnes, will join the show. So stick around for that. But right now, let's get to it. Scenarios. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? I own my own condominium, but it's kind of a fixer-upper. In fact, it's basically been a money pit. there's a lot more work to do than I had realized when I bought it. Several things I can't do myself, so I'm going to have some work done over the holidays here, Memorial Day weekend. Now, my best friend is going to be gone for 3 weeks. Oh, which matches up with the time that I'm going to have work done on my place. She has a dog and usually pays for a dog walker and sitter to come in 3 times a day to take care of the dog. I suggested that she let me stay at her place and take care of the dog. She'd save money on the dog walker, and I would have a place to stay. Then she said something that got me. She said, well, great. I will expect you to pay for rent and utilities for 2 weeks, and that would deduct what would be spent on the dog walker. What? Now, wait a minute. We're best friends. This would really help me out, but should I have to pay part of her rent? Isn't this something that friends do for each other? I can't afford to check into a hotel and really don't have better options. But what should I do here? 888-973-5476 is the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Oh, Ursula, you up to bat first.
You say you're best friends. She doesn't think you're best friends. Because if it is my best friend, we do favors for each other, and it would be, hey, I would love it if you stay at my place. We've done this many times. I will pay friends to stay at my place. I don't pay necessarily, or I pay close to what we would pay for a dog sitter, for example. But it sounds like she doesn't want you in her place. She doesn't want you in her house. She wants to keep it purely transactional. And there's something else that makes her want to keep the distance from you, or doesn't really want you to be in her house.
Mm-hmm.
I will also say that there are some people who I consider friends, but do I want them living in my house for 3 weeks?
Oh!
No.
Thank you, Ursula.
Some people, yes. Some people, no.
And you have no way to find out who that is unless that person approaches you.
Exactly.
It's interesting because I was talking to a homeboy of mine, and I just want to say, I know I got family members listening, so I got to make sure I word this the right way. I've had a specific family member that has messed it up for everybody. Okay?
Oh, I get that. No, I don't have that same thing, but I understand what you're saying. Yes.
Like they messed it up for everybody. So let me just say this. I can have a best friend and you not coming to my house.
Yes. Not for an extended period, anyway.
We're not doing that.
Yes.
Well, gee, you would rather pay the dog walker? Yes. Yes. Now, so you
because you also know if the dog walker were to do something, you can come back at him and it's not going to affect the friendship. It's going to be, this was a business relationship and you did not meet the expectations of this business relationship.
Yeah.
It's harder when it's a friendship, quote unquote.
Let me tell you something. Hey, Ursula, I'm 50 now. I'm 50.
Something magical happened at 50.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Oh, the filter's off at 50. The 50, what you tolerate, who you hang with, who you rock with is totally different. Now, if somebody says, man, this G, he's changed. He's different. Yes, I have. I have changed. I've changed a lot.
Yeah.
I've changed the things that what I will tolerate.
Yes.
I'm not tolerating nobody in my house. The dog walker, I would pay them. Matter of fact, I'll be nice to you.
Yeah. There's another part of it, too, though, that I heard in this letter.
Huh.
It's like, I really have no other options. Your friend also knows that you're looking for a free place to stay. And again, there may be more to it. Was there a past experience that wasn't so good when that happened the last time?
Yeah.
That she doesn't want you to do it again this time? Mm-hmm. Does she worry that she's not going to be able to get you out once you're in?
Yep.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that could come up.
Hey, to which the famous philosopher Ursula says, every single scenarios, there's just more we don't know.
Yes. I think you're looking at it maybe just a little too deeply. Oh. I think this is a friend who, there are certain types of people who will just try to make a buck any way that they can when they see an opportunity. This friend, quote unquote, knows that you told him you have no place to stay. So they're like, oh, great, I can charge them rent. Regardless of the fact that they are going to have to outlay some cash, actually pay somebody else to watch their animal. Like I had a friend in high school, I guess. He would drive me home after wrestling practice. On the way to his house, his parents gave this kid money for gas, and then he'd be like, "Hey man, so can you throw me down some bucks for driving you home?" And I'd be like, "No,
dipping.
man. Your parents pay for your gas, and this is on your way." But some people just want to cash out from whoever they see.
Is that a good friend?
Let me tell you something. If my parents give me money for gas, and I'm taking you in my car, you better run me that gas money.
Even if it is literally on your way home.
Even if
no
it's
change.
Even if it's literally on the way home.
Boy, you're a stand-up guy.
That's not you're not thinking of that person as a friend.
You know what I've learned? I've learned this.
Yeah.
You can be the nicest person in the world and do all of these things, and people will still make you the enemy. So I tell you what, how about I be the enemy? My house, my car, everything's in place, and nobody's taking advantage of nothing. And yes, when it comes to money in business, it is transactional. Nick, what you got?
You can still be friends with someone whether or not they're able to live with them or not, because sometimes that friendship, it can be ruined if it gets in too close quarters with each other. Doing a favor, I think, is one thing, but letting the dude get under their skin, being at your crib for weeks, is another. So I don't blame the other side for flirting with hiring the dog walker in the first place, because their friend might treat their place like a dog themselves if that's what they're worried about. You really have to wonder why their living situation is a handful in the first place, because there might be a reason why he's bouncing around and not being able to stay at his own spot.
And I just got one more thing I want to say. I just want to say, my wife and my kids are literally the last people on earth that ask me for anything. It's the weirdest thing.
Yes.
My wife and kids don't ask me for nothing.
Is it because of fear that they'll be rejected? Or why do you think that is?
Because I don't need to give them a fish. They know how to fish.
Oh. I mean, my kids know how to fish. My husband knows how to fish, but every once in a while, I know how to fish. Every once in a while, I gotta ask for a little something.
I will say this. If and when they do ask me for something, I know it's a
real
legit.
Like 2 days ago, my wife asked me for something.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean? She doesn't ask.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Hey, 11:30, the chief of police, Chief Sean Barnes. That's right. He joins the show at 11:30. But up next, we're going to respond. You guys had a lot to say when we talked about the rich guy and what he did to the monk seal. So we talk about that next. Gee Ursula.
Nothing but the dog in me.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. Northwest News.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Deep to right field. Going. Goodbye, baseball.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a view that's a real home run, check out right field. Make that the dump yard. Sure, it's a great spot to see our fearless outfielders fly, dive, and slide.
Wow! Victor Robles makes the catch!
But you might get to flash some leather too, because the forecast in the dump yard always calls for rain. Raining big dumper home runs, that is.
Number 60, the magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Don't miss the Mariners' upcoming giveaways. Hello Kitty clear crossbody bags tomorrow, thanks to Starbucks. Salute to Armed Forces Military Cap Saturday, thanks to Boeing. And Josh Naylor's Mariners bobblehead debut, May 18th and 19th. Presented by Western Washington Toyota dealers. Get your tickets at mariners.com. It's Staples' 40th anniversary, and they've got deals worth celebrating. Now through May 23rd, enjoy up to 50% off. Save on paper, chairs, custom print, balloons, and more. Staples, that was easy.
How would you like to finally lose all those unwanted pounds quickly without spending thousands on painful injections or prescriptions? Hi, it's Donna Simpson, health and wellness expert. You probably know someone that is using Ozempic, the hottest diet craze in the country. Everyone knows about this prescription injection. Celebs use it to look their best. The problem is most of us can't afford Ozempic, and these injections can be so uncomfortable. Now you can lose the weight just as easily, but with no needles, no expensive prices, no side effects, and no worries. You need to try Lozempic, a new miracle weight loss breakthrough that performs so well it's been called nature's Ozempic. Lozempic is an easy-to-take diet pill now available without a prescription, being used by thousands to get rid of those unwanted pounds. So call now and find out how to get a free bottle.
To find out how to get your free bottle of Lozempic, call 800-605-5724, 800-605-5724. Free bottles are limited, so call 800-605-5724. That's 800-605-5724.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Yeah, hi. I need an AC tune-up, and one room isn't comfortable.
We could do both. We'll get your system running right and take a look at the room. Ductless could be a great solution.
Perfect.
Yeah, and if your system's older, right now when you install a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system, the furnace is free.
Wow.
So you get a complete heating and cooling system for the price of one, and we help maximize rebates to save you the most.
Visit cmheating.com today for your tune-up or free estimate.
There's no beating CM Heating.
CMHEA HL751LW.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The U.S. Supreme Court has issued a decision that could have a ripple effect across the trucking industry. Sean Montgomery, who lost part of his leg in a crash involving a truck, said C.H. Robinson, the country's largest freight broker, should be liable for their role in putting the driver on the road despite serious red flags. The High Court says he can sue the company. Loyola Law School professor Lori Levinson.
These large trucking companies cannot escape liability simply by reinventing themselves, be chameleon companies owned by people overseas when they really do have a very dangerous safety record.
Senators on Capitol Hill have approved a measure to withhold their pay when the government is closed for business. CBS's Allison Keyes explains.
Senators have voted unanimously to withhold their own pay during government shutdowns whenever one or more agencies are affected. Their money would be released once the funding is restored, and lawmakers say that would ensure that they share the burden faced by federal workers. Federal employees from the TSA to the Coast Guard dealt with mental health and money woes amid the shutdowns.
CBS's Jim Krasula reports on a tragedy in the American Southwest.
All 4 people aboard a medical aircraft have been killed in a crash near Capitan, New Mexico. The crash ignited a fire near the town that sits at the base of the Sierra Blanca Range in south central New Mexico. The plane had taken off from an airport in Roswell, New Mexico.
CBS News has learned that U.S. Border Patrol Chief Michael Banks is resigning. More from CBS's Mugo Odigwe.
Banks was the Texas border czar from 2023 up until the beginning of just last year when President Trump appointed him to lead Border Patrol.
Banks is the latest top Trump administration immigration official to leave in recent months, preceded by former Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and former Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino. A prom photo shoot involving a helicopter has become a political fight in an Illinois city.
Quintina Brown, the parks director in Markham, south of Chicago, hired a helicopter to land at a city park so her daughter could pose with it. City officials say Brown didn't have the power to authorize that landing, and city attorney Bert Odelson says Brown may have paid for it with a taxpayer-funded credit card.
The plot thickens, as they say.
Markham Mayor Roger Akpawa.
Why wouldn't somebody question that?
Brown says she just wanted to provide her daughter with a memorable experience. Police ticketed her and the pilot for disorderly conduct. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Chip startup Cerebras Systems hits $80 billion in value in a strong stock debut. It underscores demand for equities tied to the artificial intelligence investment boom. Stocks are up on Wall Street. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
A major break in the UW stabbing case. Police say they've arrested a suspect, but first, let's get a check on the roads. Drivers are finally seeing some relief from Federal Way to Seattle. It'll take you about 36 minutes right now. Puyallup to Renton about 30 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 24 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. With the high gas prices, now is the time to buy a hybrid or all-electric at Subaru of Puyallup. Great selection and pricing are at your stress-free dealership, SubaruofPuyallup.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. The suspect in the stabbing death of a 19-year-old University of Washington student is behind bars this morning. Drew Anderson with Bellevue Police tell us.
He is a Bellevue resident. He arrived at the Bellevue Police Department. We arrested him, and we then transferred him into custody of the Seattle Police Department.
The suspect may have been stalking female students before the woman's body was found in an off-campus apartment laundry room. Surveillance photos show a man inside a dorm where students say he followed a girl around campus before an RA forced him to leave. Seattle Police Detective Eric Munoz says UW police were aware of prior reports.
If that is, in fact, the same person that was seen on campus, you could never predict that he would commit such an egregious crime.
Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes will be on Gee and Ursula at 11:30. The suspect is set to appear in court this afternoon. Meanwhile, a Covington man is facing federal charges for throwing a rock at an endangered Hawaiian monk seal in Maui. A witness recorded the now viral video.
What are you doing? Why would you throw a rock at it? Hello?
Kaylee Schnitzer tells Hawaii News Now.
He also was saying something about he does this where he's from, it's a normal thing to him. And he was like, I don't care, find me, I'm rich.
NOAA special agents arrested him near Seattle yesterday. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Honolulu says the 38-year-old is charged with harassing a protected animal and is set to appear in U.S. District Court in Seattle today. If convicted, he faces up to 1 year in prison for each charge. He also faces fines up to $70,000. A Mercer Island woman is suing Alaska Airlines, claiming the airline flew a Seattle to Phoenix flight into severe turbulence back in 2024, despite repeated weather warnings. According to court documents, Flight 700 suddenly plunged about 200 feet, slamming passengers and flight attendants into the ceiling. Aviation attorney Mark Lindquist filed the suit.
Typically, you would expect pilots to divert the plane when they know severe turbulence and dangerous weather is ahead. Here, they flew right into the dangerous weather.
Alaska Airlines tells KIRO News Radio, while we do not comment on ongoing litigation, safety is our highest priority, and we take all reports and incidents involving turbulence seriously. And now to your KIRO News Radio weather. We've got some peaks of sunshine coming into the studio right now. Highs are going to be in the low 60s. Right now, it's about 55 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday to all of you. And I want Nikki down in Tacoma to know that I'm not spicy today. I'm having a great day. I'm choosing joy. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. I'm choosing joy as well, something I try to do daily. Some days are more challenging than others, but I think it's a goal that we should all have. Text us at the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. We are going to do agree to disagree, abbreviated form at the end of this next segment, because coming up at 11:30, we will have Seattle's Police Chief Sean Barnes back with us. We're going to actually have him for 2 segments, and I'm going to ask him a question that I have asked some of our previous guests that we've had recently, and it is primarily when it comes to different policies and different approaches to handling drug cases, in particular in downtown Seattle, but just in the city of Seattle. What is the police chief's metrics? What metrics does he use to show that what is happening right now is working? So just wanted say that it is a question that I've asked of previous guests, and I'm going to be asking the chief that as well. If you have a question for the chief, let us know. Text us on our Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
But right now, we need to bring back a story that we had in the 10 o'clock hour. And Gee, I will tell you that you and I took a position that was not popular amongst our listeners. In fact, I think maybe there was one person who agreed with us. So to reset, there is a Covington man who is now facing federal charges after throwing a rock at an endangered monk seal during a visit to Maui. He is 38-year-old Igor Litvinchik, and he was seen on video, and you've heard it all over our air, where he was hurling this stone, this rock, at the seal, narrowly missing it last week. And a Maui resident caught the act on camera, and she spoke with Hawaii News Now and said, this is what this guy said to her afterward.
Why would you throw a rock at it? Hello? My gosh, like, it's not moving. The monk seal is not moving, and it was just playing around. He also was like saying something about he does this where he's from, like it's a normal thing to him, and he was like, I don't care, find me, I'm rich.
Okay. He sounds like an absolute jerk, and I understand the anger. But following that incident, there was another viral video that shows that there was a local man who was viciously beating Litvinchik. And Hawaiian State Senator Brenton Awa gave that man who beat the pulp out of him an official commendation.
Our attorney over here wants to make it clear we don't condone violence. But we did make a letter of recognition for Mr. Ambassador of Aloha. You know, we see this all the time with people with a different type of mentality coming in and destroying our stuff, in this case, animals. But we'd like at least the airline to play this type of video on all flights incoming so people don't do this kind of stuff.
So the suspect, the rock throwing suspect, is going to face a federal judge. He faces charges of violating the Endangered Species Act, the Marine Mammal Protection Act, and could, if convicted, face up to a year in prison and some fines. And Gee, you and I both landed on the same page on this, which is understand the anger, think he's a jerk and should face some serious consequences, but I'm not going to cheer when someone beats the crud out of him and then actually give him a special commendation for it, for beating the crap out of him.
Yeah, you and I are definitely on the same page. You know what I wish going forward? I wish that we all keep that same energy when people attack the vulnerable here in general, whether it's a monk seal, whether it's trans, LGBTQ, undocumented immigrants. I hope we keep that same energy and want to really, and especially the energy when someone says things like, I'm rich. I do this all the time. Find me if you want to. So again, you and I were the minority on this. I just don't believe, even though I'm angry, I don't believe in physical violence, retaliation. Mm-hmm. It is not going to be a good thing. I don't think you guys should believe in it too, because it sounds good, but you could literally lose your life.
Yes,
and behind this,
life, livelihood.
Yeah,
exactly. And again, how would you react if Gee and I were to say, "Yeah, this person," and you brought up Luigi Mangione, which is you and I landed on the same page on that one, which different situation, obviously, but understanding the anger behind what Luigi said was his motive for doing what he did and for murdering, allegedly, this healthcare executive, this United Healthcare executive. And the world was practically cheering him on. And you and I landed on the same page of, I can't say that he deserved it because of your anger toward a system, which you often talk about, a system that is completely unfair and disgusting.
I think I almost want to take the rest of the week off. I just got a text from the 253 that says cruelty to animals is an entire different thing.
Oh, my word.
You know what?
We all got next.
People do respond differently. You're right. People do respond often with more sympathy
to animals
than they do to human beings. You're 100%, yeah.
Okay, and Liz in Gig Harbor says that senator did condone violence. Exactly, Liz, and that's the issue that I had. He's just because you say we don't condone violence, but then on the other hand, we're going to give you a special commendation because of what you did. We want this video shared everywhere because of what you did. But gee, I mean, Eric in the 206 says, I'm born and raised in Hawaii. I agree with Chef 100%. It's been going on for a long time. The entitlement of these tourists who come to our land and poop on it and think that it's all right. They will find out that it isn't. And Eric, I understand that. And I understand. I mean, Hawaii is beautiful and tourists have taken it over. And I understand that resentment. But again, do you condone do you say it's okay to be violent because you don't like what the tourists are doing?
Can we, let's just do this. I got an idea, Ursula. Since you and I are in the minority on this, I'm being serious. The next time some type of violence happens in this country, as much as we've seen lately, you mean to tell me you and I are in the minority on this topic? You do understand the more people that we have that agree with vigilante justice, you do understand that does lead to the stories that we've been talking about in this country.
Yes, political violence, which is
I come to work every day and I just scratch my head. I seriously scratch my head.
And I understand we're talking about an innocent seal, an endangered species, and I think it's horrendous. And this guy deserves to be, again, like I said, fined. And even though it said only up to a year, I would love for people to face stronger consequences when you do something as egregious as that. But again, I cannot imagine saying, hey, this person is a hero for doing this.
And I'm going to tell you this. Sorry. I know, Ursula, we got young folks that listen to our show, and I just want to say this to the young generation that's coming up. Something might happen to you that you don't like. You've seen something that's awful. You got to call the police. You trying to take that in you could potentially lose your life. Yeah, you could lose your life.
You could. And I love what that woman did, though. She did. She took the video.
Yes.
Yes. So we all got to see it, and he's all over. That thing went viral, but again, I think it just goes too far. Not to say that I don't understand the anger behind it, but I would just caution against really being supportive of this idea of vigilante justice.
Can I say something really quick? Because I think the sense of frustration that maybe some people will have, or what they don't understand about your perspective, is that, like, I have this. I don't think what the senator did was good. I understand why the guy got a beat down, obviously, and there's still a little part of me that's like, heck yeah, man, that's what you get. That's what you get. But like, that's what I appreciate about you too. Is I know you both actually truly believe what you're saying. Mm-hmm. And you both have a sense of responsibility towards the public discourse in guiding people towards a better path. Like, that is something that you two both deeply believe in.
Thank you for saying that.
I appreciate it.
Because right now we are very much in the minority on this one.
And by the way,
okay.
I'm glad you brought that up because, like, seriously. We've been doing this show for 6.5 years, man, and I'm just telling you, we're in this country. We're in trouble. We have people that believe this stuff, but they say other things because they want to make more money. And I'm not just making this stuff up. I'm telling you stuff that I see and go through on a daily basis. I go through this daily. You want to know why we got so much hate? Because hate wins right now. Because hate sells right now. And of all the things that bother me, this is one of them. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, don't we want better for our kids coming behind us? Do we want to just keep this violent stuff? Do you guys if some of you guys love There's been assassination attempts. There's been political violence. People killed in Minnesota. Like seriously, at some point there used to be, no, don't get me wrong. I used to be a young little punk, and I used to think and want to do these things, and, oh, you want to fight? Oh, you got beef? I used to do all those things. But at some point, man, there has to be adults in the room. Mm-hmm. Seriously. Mm-hmm. And we don't want this violent type of world coming through. And
No, I hear you.
You both are hitting on something larger here, and a larger nerve, because it's easy to look at this situation and see such a clear villain.
Oh yeah, he's a villain.
Such a clear victim that is utterly helpless. Mm-hmm. And they're confronting the news. All of us see stories every day that enrage us, where you see, for example, just like people who have lived in a trailer home park here for 15 years. It's their retirement. That is the only place they can afford to live. And somebody buys that up, and they decide their business model is going to jack up the rent so high and squeeze every dollar out of those people, and those older people go homeless. And we know that is wrong, and you want to see some sort of justice. All of the things we're confronted with in the news, it's impossible to not have a sense of deep, burning anger, and to want to see some satisfaction come from that.
Yeah.
And then to actually see it happen in 10 seconds on a video, rock thrown at a seal, guy gets beaten up, and whew, that one felt good.
He got what he was.
I just want to say this one last thing. I see people that I can't stand every day. Literally. I see people every day that make my skin crawl. Like, I despise them with everything in my everything. However, I still don't want anything violent to happen to them. Mm-hmm. It's not hard. Mm-hmm. It's not hard. Yeah. You can really
and we're certainly not going to use a platform that we have that is a very powerful platform to say, hey, he had it coming to him. And as much of a jerk as he is, and I understand, for the native Hawaiians who feel like tourists have just completely trashed,
they're not wrong.
They're not wrong.
Not wrong.
Absolutely not wrong. But again, I think that we have probably spent a lot of time on this, but we'd sure love to hear what you have to say about it. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. We do have the chief coming up, but I think you have time for one agree to disagree.
One of these days, you got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it. Brought to you by Garden Roofing and Gutters.
Thank you. I don't know how I pivot here, but I'll just start with a nice big old blanket statement. Big blanket statement. We love those here on the show. Yes. Extended warranties are a waste of money. That is the headline of a Washington Post article this morning, which points out that extended warranties are basically a giant cash cow for retailers and a terrible deal for consumers. So according to this report, companies often pay out less than 20 cents in claims for every dollar they collect in warranty sales. But gee, what do you say? You getting the extended warranty?
Well, first, let me just say that I agree. All the warranty stuff and paying for it, usually like 99% of the time back in the day, it was, no, give me my stuff. Today, Ursula, let me get that warranty.
Why?
Let me get that warranty.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not doing that anymore. Well, of course, I also drive cars that are a lot older than the cars that you drive. For example, I'm thinking of car.
Yeah,
but just for anything.
How about a computer, a new Apple computer?
You know who does? Okay, there's a couple. There's Mark, and then there's me.
Yeah.
If I'm the one that's making the purchase,
no warranty.
Long live
Mark.
Yeah. Long live Mark. Yep.
Well, Mark is also very organized because if you are someone who buys the warranty, you have to be a person who also has the folders all divided, a collection, everything. Purchases 2019, 2018.
You just described my husband.
And then periodically, every 5 to 10 years, you go through that cabinet and you throw out the stuff that's.
Yes, that's my husband.
I cannot do that.
Thank God for him.
How many times have you used the warranty?
Once recently with our refrigerator.
How old was the warranty?
This fridge was pretty new.
Okay. So you didn't need the extended. It was the original warranty.
It worked. But point taken on this thing. Yeah, if it's just up to me, no warranty.
Hey, we do have a guest coming up. And before I tell you that, I just looked on the good old Facebook, like my buddy Marlana. She says on here, I want a hot link on some white bread with mustard. And Ursula, I don't know if that sounds good to you, but if you know, you know. Have you ever Ursula, you ever had just a hot link on white bread and mustard? That's it. You ever had that?
No, but I'm not big on hot links.
Oh, you're not?
They're better than just regular hot dogs, and I'm definitely not good on mustard. So, but right now, you're looking at the time, and it's lunchtime for you.
You know, if y'all notice, I always try to bring up food around 11:30.
It's the best time for food.
Hey, coming up next, go refill your coffee, your water, whatever you're sipping on. The Chief of Police, Seattle Police Department, Chief Sean Barnes, joins the show next. Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
It's G. Scott. Let's talk real for a second here, because the summer is supposed to be about sunshine and kids having fun. But when the kids are all home all day, that grocery bill gets real. Diabolical almost. That's why I want you to know about Sunbucks and why our friends at Safeway are helping get the word out. If your family qualifies, you could receive $120 per child to spend on groceries this summer. That's food in your cart and a little less pressure on the budget. And check this out. There's no catch. There's no judgment. This program is simply about making sure kids have enough to eat when school is out. Here's the important part. Many families are enrolled automatically, and a card may already be headed to your mailbox. But some families do need to apply depending on income and where you live. So take a couple minutes right now and go check. Visit freesummermeals.org. That's freesummermeals.org. Safeway, looking out for the families this summer.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
My name is Skip, and Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland helped me with my Small Business Administration loan. With her help, I was able to keep my small business open, and she can help you too. Please contact Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland's office at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov for help. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see, they know, they hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, you know, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Washington, recent headlines might concern you. Talk of pocket listings or private networks where only certain consumers see certain properties are all over the media. Good news. The legislature recently passed a bill to protect you in your transaction. No secret deals, all listings available for everyone to see, not just an exclusive club of insiders. This means more competition, better offers, and fair access for all consumers. Learn more at warealtor.org, sponsored by Washington Realtors.
The action is fierce, the energy is over the top, and it's a night you don't want to miss. It's Excite Fight Live MMA at Muckleshoot Casino Resort on Saturday, May 23rd at 7 p.m. See a full night of incredible combat when MMA fighters face off in the cage and turn the excitement all the way up. Get your tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Clutter happens. Let Closets by Design save the day. For a limited time, get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Spike O'Neill here for Ageless Living. Recently, my aunt had surgery and she was home the next day. But we weren't sure if we were ready or equipped to give the kind of care that she needed, so we called Ageless Living and asked about respite care. A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Ageless Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to agelessliving.com/spike and schedule a visit. It can be a much-needed break for a caregiver and a chance for you and your family to get a look and a taste of what Ageless Living offers. That's agelessliving.com/spike.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. The suspect in the stabbing death of a 19-year-old University of Washington student is now in custody. Drew Anderson with Bellevue Police tells us.
He is a Bellevue resident. He arrived at the Bellevue Police Department. We arrested him, and we then transferred him into custody of the Seattle Police Department.
The suspect may have been stalking other female students before the woman's body was found in an off-campus apartment laundry room. Surveillance photos show a man inside a dorm where students say he followed a girl around campus before an RA forced him to leave. Seattle Police Detective Eric Munoz says UW police were aware of prior reports.
If that is, in fact, the same person that was seen on campus, you could never predict that he would commit such an egregious crime.
Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes will be on Gee and Ursula in a few moments. The suspect is set to appear in court this afternoon. Wenatchee police say a 40-year-old homicide case has finally been closed. Investigators confirmed Henry B. Leland killed Carol Trykoff, who was found dead behind the Stanley Center in May of 1986. Wenatchee police tell KIRO 7 TV.
Ultimately, we determined that he was a resident in Kamloops, British Columbia, and we had confirmed that he did pass away in December of 2007.
The department thanked investigators whose work stretched across the U.S. and into Canada. Police say the victim would have been 75 years old. A Covington man will be in court today after allegedly throwing a rock at an endangered Hawaiian monk seal in Maui. KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas has details.
Prosecutors say 38-year-old Igor Litvinchuk was arrested by federal agents with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration near Seattle for violating the Endangered Species Act and Marine Mammals Protection Act. According to that criminal complaint, he was on vacation in Maui when he decided to throw the rock. And when the woman who took the video approached him about it, and told him that she had called police. He said he was, quote, rich enough to pay the fines. Litvinchuk owns a trucking company in Kent. He is charged with harassing and attempting to harass an endangered Hawaiian monk seal. If convicted, he faces up to a year in prison for each charge, plus up to $70,000 in fines.
Over in Pierce County, the Tacoma Humane Society is changing how it operates after a deadly dog attack.
This happened at the beginning of the month at Dune Peninsula after the Tacoma City Marathon. Owner Paul Beck tells KIRO 7 he saw a large dog grab his pup, bite him, and shake him. He wasn't able to save Brownie. The Humane Society was trying to get the other dog adopted that day. Instead, the shelter euthanized it and says it takes full responsibility. It released this new plan on social media. It includes having more workers at events and expanding training for volunteers. The Humane Society says its next step is looking for third-party review for future off-site events.
And for your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, drivers are continuing to see some relief from Federal Way to Seattle. It'll take you about 34 minutes. Peel up to Renton, 30 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, about 24 minutes right now. This traffic report is brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. With the high gas prices, now is the time to buy a hybrid or all-electric Subaru of Puyallup. Great selection and pricing are at your stress-free dealership, SubaruofPuyallup.com. And for your forecast, we've got peaks of sunshine, mostly cloudy today with highs in the low 70s, or rather low 60s. Right now, it's about 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. As you've been hearing on the news, Seattle police have now made arrests in two high-profile killings that shocked the city over the past week. One involving the stabbing death of a transgender student at the University of Washington near campus housing. The other, the killing of a 25-year-old employee at the Growler Guys in Lake City during what police say was an after-hours hangout gone horribly wrong. And joining us now is Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes. Chief, thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning. So both of those cases got a lot of public attention very quickly. What helped investigators move so fast with these arrests?
Well, I think the main thing is just the teamwork that we've implemented here since my arrival, having officers, investigators, and detectives come out along with our patrol response. We've done a lot of training. We've done a lot of collaboration, changed leadership a little bit. And so it really all matters. But one of the most important things was the use of cameras that we will often scour the neighborhoods for, and cameras that were inside the business, as well as cameras that were inside of the laundry room where this unfortunate incident occurred near UW's campus.
I'm glad you brought up cameras. When you bring up, yeah, I am. When you bring up cameras, Chief, I know you said they helped. Did it help you even solve it that much faster? If not for the cameras, how long could this alleged suspect could have been out on the streets, maybe walking around Bellevue?
Yeah, anytime we can quickly identify someone that is of interest or a suspect, we still have to apprehend them. But the public certainly helps with that. But this person could have been walking around for a very, very long time while we wait for fingerprints to come back, while we wait for DNA and trace evidence to come back, which we all collect, by the way. So no homicide, as I was always taught, is ever solved by any one thing. There's usually a combination of things, but certainly the cameras have to point us in the right direction and to identify a suspect quickly.
In the UW case, Chief, there was a lot of fear and speculation really almost immediately. Your department said very early on that the victim was trans. Have investigators determined whether that victim was targeted specifically because of them being trans?
Yeah, I think that came from the community that knew her or loved her and knew how how our victim identified. I was very careful not to really say that because I think that is for her and her family or for whoever may be close to her. At this point, we have not determined if that was a reasoning for this crime. We don't have a statement at this time from the person who we're holding accountable and responsible. But the truth of the matter is, whenever someone from a vulnerable community is hurt, we should take a look at that and to see if that was one of the deciding factors in someone committing something so heinous.
Chief, unfortunately, you've had two tragic incidents that's been in the news that we all know about. We just talked about what happened, unfortunately, at UW. And then we also know about what happened at the Growlers Guide, that up there near the Lake City Way area. So cameras for the first one. And the second one, can you talk to us? Did cameras play a part in this? Because one of the things that I'm noticing is both alleged suspects walked in. You guys didn't even have to go and find them. Like, these folks have walked in. So tell us what cameras did maybe in the second case.
Yeah, I think in the second case, when loved ones and family members see our bulletins and they see people that they recognize, encouraging them to do the right thing. Hey, you have to stand for or account for what may or may not have happened there. And I think that helps out. But just as a point of correction, we actually had three. We had someone who was shot and killed at an encampment up on the south side, and that was on Thursday. We did make an arrest in that particular case. We're still going through that one. That's going to take some time. The suspect in that case was released pending some more investigation from our investigators at the advice of the King County prosecutors, but we believe we have the right person responsible. We just have a little bit more work to do on that. So it was a very, very busy weekend for us from Thursday till Sunday, early Sunday morning.
When you talk about Lake City, I'm sorry, Ursula. When you talk about Lake City, you said that people saw the bulletin, they saw the pictures and the photos. How did they get that?
Well, we put our bulletins out on our SPD blotter. And once that goes out, usually the media picks it up. So I'm always grateful to the media. I do consider them a partner with us. Sometimes we'll share it on our social media as well. People will share it and tag other people. And so it really is a force multiplier for us. We are in a digital age. There's not a lot of places you can go to in this world, this country, the state, the city, where there's not some form of camera. But what our officers will do is they will literally get a pen and a pad, and they will go throughout the entire community, and they will document where cameras are, and they'll talk to managers and homeowners, and they say, hey, we need your help. And so far, we've gotten great responses from that. Again, no case is ever solved with just one thing. Mm-hmm. It's not just the cameras. It's trace evidence. It's footprints, fingerprints. It's cell phone records. It is a very detailed process to make sure that the cases or can be prosecuted. And I want to say this too: just because we have arrested someone, that doesn't mean that the investigation stops. Right. We are continuing to make sure that we are making sure that any leads or any information that we have, that we're following up on that thoroughly.
And Chief, I want to say, first of all, kudos. 3 arrests in 1 week for heinous crimes. And given we've talked about staffing at SPD, while it's getting better, you're still doing while you're very stretched. And Gee has been bringing up cameras because the last time we had a conversation with you, we were talking about the mayor's decision to put certain camera programs on hold to do more study. And we got the impression that if you had your way, we would have all cameras on during the World Cup. Has anything changed since our last conversation with you on that front?
Yeah, so let me say that any police officer, any police chief in the country will tell you that more information is better than less information in our efforts to keep people safe. And that is just a fundamental principle of criminal justice. What has changed is that we're working on a brief for the mayor that we intend to deliver sometime in June regarding the definition and our ability to understand credible threat. And so we're going to deliver that brief to the mayor, and then we will hopefully be in a place where we can have the cameras activated prior to the FIFA World Cup. We have a lot of visitors coming in, and although it's never just one thing, but it is always one thing added to everything that we're doing that's going to keep people safe. We want to be able to determine if there's any things or persons or anything that's going to go on that's going to keep people will not keep people safe. So we need every available tool to us. And again, let me be clear, these are public space cameras. These are public space cameras. These aren't cameras that we're going to put in private areas. They're public space cameras where we're going to have a tremendous amount of foot traffic and a tremendous opportunity for a bad actor to do something to a vulnerable community that's just walking to see some football and or soccer.
You're listening to Chief Sean Barnes, Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes, here on the Gee and Ursula Show. We have asked if you could stay with us for one more segment. We need to ask you, because it is a question that keeps coming up, what are police doing now when it comes to open-air drug use and open-air drug dealing, especially in places like downtown Seattle? So we'll have you answer that coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate, like you. You take prescription meds, and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you, with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou, because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-511-3535, 800-511-3535, or biglou.com.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. $4, $6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
G. Scott here. Safeway wants you to know Some Bucks gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically. Others need to apply. Find out if you should apply at freesummermeals.org.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. One thing the IRS has been working on is to modernize their infrastructure, the software that they use. And, you know, we look at that and say that's great for government efficiency, but in this case, that kind of efficiency means they're spotting people way faster.
They're able to do that, and they have to do that because they have fewer personnel. But look at your own work environment, how technology is replacing people, and you can get as much work done or more with the proper technology. And that's what the IRS's goal is that we need to use technology, especially AI, to make determinations on, okay, who should we go after? Who are we missing?
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967. Or Google NUNN. Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our kids zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show, and we are continuing our conversation with Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes. Chief, one of the biggest frustrations that we hear from our listeners is that they still see open drug use, drug dealing, prostitution, and repeat criminal behavior in places like downtown Seattle or Aurora Avenue. And there's confusion about what police can actually do right now. And I think some of it is because the new city attorney, Erica Evans, has expressed opposition to soda and soap zones that were approved by the previous council. So, Chief, how does that actually affect SPD officers on the street?
Yeah, I try to not let that affect what we do at all. When I first got here, I looked into what the department could do, what they could not do. And what I found is that we can make arrests for some of these crimes when we see them. We can make arrests for open air drug use. We can make arrests for drug selling. And so what we did not have was the understanding of what happens after that. I'm not worried about that. What I've told my crew, and we have done videos about this and training, is that when appropriate, please make the arrests. When appropriate, please make a lead referral when you're dealing with someone who's openly using drugs on our streets and they are part of the lead program. Call the lead counselor. They've told me that they'll be there within 20 minutes, and I'm being told that is being done. If we can get people help, we'll always do that, but we're going to hold people accountable. You saw from our last city council meeting where we spoke about this in committee session, our arrests have gone up for these particular type of crimes. I think the officers have brought in, we're doing special assignments at 12th and Jackson and 3rd and Pine and all these areas that you've talked about. But this has been a problem for Seattle for a very, very long time. I think it's related to your fear of crime. I think it fuels other crimes. And we're committed to enforcing the law, just like we're getting paid to do. Those who are on the prosecution side, those that are at the jails, they have their own mandates and things that they believe is right, but we have to enforce the law, and we're going to do that. But we're also going to help people when we can safely do that. And I think that is our approach, and we're going to continue to do that. But we have to do it consistently. We've done some great things in the city for a very, very long time, but we have to now do those things consistently. And I think that has been part of the problem. You can't get any progress done in your life, personal life, finances, health, if you're not going to be consistent. And so that's what we're working on.
And one of the questions that I had, and I want to pose to you as well. So what are the metrics that you use in saying that, what we're doing at SPD and how we're handling these particular problem spots with the drugs? And I'm specifically saying that because that seems to be the thing that comes up the most. What are the metrics that you use to show, yes, this is working?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a long-term kind of collection of data. I look at displacement, whether, people are just moving from one area to the next. I also look at whether or not we're seeing repeat offenses. I also look at some of the other things that are in or around street crime and disorder, like the illegal vending, the stolen merchandise, it's a ecosystem. And so in order to tackle it, we're going to need a whole of government approach. So one of my biggest metrics is, who are we working with? Who are we partnering with? Who's on the street? When I see the level of success that I want, you can walk down 12th and Jackson or 3rd and Pine and see more than just the police at 2 a.m. We need everyone to step up, and we need everyone to agree to be out at late night hours when we need you to be offering the services that we need to keep people safe.
Love that answer, Chief. We only got a couple more minutes, but I want to leave it a couple questions would be centered around, like, right now there's kids watching, listening to this show right now, and maybe there's somebody that's actually thinking of putting on a badge one day. What is something that you want someone that's thinking about putting on a badge one day? What do you want them to understand about what it is like to do this job in 2026?
Wow. I would simply say that this is the toughest job you will ever love, to borrow from the military. I'll also say it's a job that changes you forever. And it's a job for someone with a servant's heart that's willing to solve problems and get in there and take the criticism that comes along with this profession in a city like Seattle. We have a lot of work to do. We're not perfect. Sometimes it feels like, good is the enemy of perfection here in Seattle. Great is the enemy of perfection here in Seattle. But we're going to continue to work and get better and better each and every day. And that's what I'm committed to. And finally, I will tell that person, your desire to be successful should be greater than your fear of failure. And so if you can do that, you'll be successful in this job.
Chief Barnes, we really appreciate your time, man. We always love it when you come on. Chief Sean Barnes, who is the chief of Seattle Police Department. We appreciate your time, good brother. Thank you so much. Oh, yes, sir. And before you go, when it comes to grits, sugar or salt and pepper?
It's always salt and pepper. Anyone tells you sugar, stay away from them.
Oh, no.
Thank you. I knew I liked you. Now you can stay being chief because you're putting salt and pepper instead of the sugar.
Yes,
Keep it
sir.
spicy.
Thanks for being here so you don't get fined, sir.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Have a good one. All right, Ursula, words to live by.
And I'm going to go with this. You know what I'm going to go with?
What?
I'm going to go with surrounding yourself with people who lift you up. It's kind of a piggyback from yesterday. Part of self-love is having that higher standard for your inner circle.
Oh, that was better than yesterday's. Yes, it is.
Pretty good. Try to improve upon it.
There you go. Nick, what's up, man?
Well, what type of teacher would you be if guiding all them kids while you hand them that homework out or test to rank them on a grid? Would you try and go against the grain and change the common style? Or just follow ones you had before when you were in those classroom aisles? And perhaps the approach you take could give them students extra drive to try earning high degrees like MBAs and help them thrive. Although with that tuition being half off, I'm not sure an MBA, CIA, ETA, NHL, or NFL or any three letters should help the way the same way it used to back in the day.
Good stuff, Nick. By the way,
so true.
Ursula and everybody.
Yeah.
Do y'all be listening to the things that Chief Sean Barnes says? He be laying some nuggets and gems out there. Yeah. Some motivational stuff.
Yeah. And Ginny in Linwood was upset we didn't ask her question. How do officers deal with these sovereign citizens? Shouldn't there be something that outlaws this thinking? Sorry that we didn't ask that question, but
sorry. Apologize. Yeah. All right, gotta go. Thanks, Ursula.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Nick.
Too,
appreciate it. Jake and Spike Show comes in next. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Hi, I'm Erica, the annuals buyer here at Sky Nursery. This May, stock up on beautiful quality annual plants, especially if mom likes flowers. I'm adding a peachy orange begonia hanging basket for the shady side of my garden. I'm also excited for my patch of Kiss Me Over the Garden Gate to grow. And I've been planting dried flowers like strawflower and gomphrena, which you can keep as a bouquet year-round. So come on into Sky and see what you can grow. It's simpler than you think. Sky Nursery, the gardener's garden store. skynursery.com.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Held over due to popular demand. This is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates. This weekend only, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver. From New Nordic. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-213-5757. That's 800-213-5757.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we know you're no stranger to setting big goals, whether in school, at work, or in life, and you're ready for more. At UMGC, we offer the skills-based education you need to move your